Chapter 1001. The explosion tore through the buried shadow demon's body, and a blue substance splashed out from the buried shadow demon's body. Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness's backlash instantly weakened, and he quickly brought out the everlasting blue thunder city. The buried shadow demon's roar came out, and it no longer called out Ji Ong Mu Lu. At this moment, even if there was delicious human flesh in front of it, it wouldn't be in the mood to enjoy it. A violent aura erupted from the buried shadow demon's body. Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin knew that the buried shadow demon was seriously injured, but they could only retreat. The blue storm continued to overflow from the buried shadow demon's body. The buried shadow demon finally stopped chasing after Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin. Its body turned into a blue sand vortex and rushed out of Ning Cheng's second village viewing bridge. The buried shadow demon's roar grew further and further away. Apparently, it had truly left. The weaker burial shadow fiends also disappeared without a trace in the face of this roar. Lu Fanglin, who stood at the end of the Forgotten River Bridge, stared at the disappearing blue sand storm in shock and murmured, "So strong." The Tao-splitting bead, which could even kill ordinary Tao essence, couldn't kill this buried shadow demon. One had to know that the reason she hadn't used this bead was that it had too many flaws. It took too long to activate. Another reason was that she hadn't met an opponent who could force her to use this bead. Ning Cheng took out a healing pill and swallowed it. He then raised his hand and rolled up the Seven Bridges spirit technique without speaking. "Let's go. Although the buried shadow demon is injured, it might come back again." Lu Fanglin saw Ning Cheng not moving and spoke up anxiously. "It's too late. Someone doesn't want us to go." Ning Cheng looked at the empty blue sand in front of him and spoke up. Without waiting for Lu Fanglin to answer, a sneer came over. "I didn't misjudge you. You knew that I was coming. The Seven Bridges spirit technique is indeed powerful. It can even drive away the most powerful buried shadow demon in the buried shadow blue sand." "Ding Si?" Lu Fanglin spoke up in shock. A gray-robed man's figure slowly appeared. It was Ding Si, the one who had distributed the Tao fruits to Ning Cheng. Ding Si glanced at Lu Fanglin before turning his gaze back to Ning Cheng. "I heard that to cultivate the Seven Bridges spirit technique in the early stages, one must have the Seven Bridges realm book. The legends really do make sense. Since you obtained the Seven Bridges realm book, no wonder you don't fear the buried shadow demons. Unfortunately, your first and second bridges have cracked. In your current state, you won't be able to summon them again in a short period of time, right?" With that said, he looked at Lu Fanglin. "I'm afraid you only have one substandard Tao splitting pearl. What do you want?" Lu Fanglin was very anxious. She knew that Ning Cheng had consumed a lot of energy. Just as Ding Si said, Ning Cheng should not be able to use his trump card, the Seven Bridges spiritual technique. With her strength, it was impossible for her to win against Ding Si. Ding Si waved his hand, and a white mountain peak appeared above his head. "I don't want to kill you too. Ning Cheng, as long as you call out the Seven Bridges spirit technique and the Seven Bridges realm book, I will let you go. The two of you can be a couple here and do whatever you want. Isn't that happy and carefree?" When Lu Fanglin heard the last sentence, her face heated up. Only then did she realize how exposed her body was. She quickly took out an outer dress and put it on. "What if I don't agree?" Ning Cheng asked calmly. "It doesn't matter if you don't agree. After all, we have something to discuss." As he spoke the word, discuss, the white mountain peak above Ding Si's head suddenly split open and poured down like a waterfall. The terrifying killing intent and imposing aura swept away the surrounding burial shadow blue sand. At this moment, the killing intent tore everything under the white mountain peak apart. Blade Mountain Spirit Technique? Ning Cheng's pupils shrank. Blade Mountain Spirit Technique was extremely difficult to refine because it consumed too many top-grade materials. Not only that, but the Blade Mountain Spirit Technique couldn't be cast with a Blade Mountain. It also required a powerful spiritual consciousness to achieve. This mountain peak was composed of countless blades. Once it attacked, it would turn into billions of blades. Just the laws of blade intent alone could lock down the opponent and tear them into pieces. For a Tao-confirming Holy Emperor, no matter how powerful they would have the means to avoid and resist an ordinary blade. Once an ordinary saber was gathered, it would form countless ordinary sabers that would strike down. That would result in a qualitative change in quantity. Under the qualitative change of these billions of blade shadows, all domains and laws of space would directly shatter. The entire space would then form a new law-related spirit technique, the Blade Dao Laws of Spirit Technique. What's more, Ding Si's Blade Mountain Spirit Technique wasn't composed of ordinary blades. Instead, it was composed of billions of blades containing Blade Dao's killing intent. The blade shadows rolled over like a surging river. As the turbulent blade light washed over them, Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin's domains turned into paper. Under this terrifying Blade Mountain Dao charm, there was no room for resistance. The surrounding laws of space were suppressed by this Blade Dao laws. Even if Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin wanted to leave, they wouldn't be able to break through this turbulent blade mountain under the suppression of the laws of space. In Lu Fanglin's desperation, the thoughtless rainbow beads transformed into colorful curtains, wanting to block this kind of flowing lightsaber mountain. Unfortunately, when the blade mountain collided with her thoughtless pearl curtain, it was like tearing apart a rag, directly shredding the thoughtless pearl curtain into messy pieces. I didn't expect to die here. There was despair in Lu Fanglin's eyes. She knew that Ding Si was strong, but she didn't expect him to be this strong. If Ning Cheng could use his first bridge of helplessness, he might be able to restrain Ding Si a bit. But now, she and Ning Cheng could only wait for death. They were both Dao Actualization Divine Emperors, so why was there such a huge difference between them? You can find me. It seems that you have an extreme spirit sense cultivation method that can find me and even break my concealment restriction, Ding Si said calmly as he looked at Ning Cheng, who was about to be torn apart by the Blade Mountain. Despite his calmness, he still couldn't suppress the excitement in his heart. The Seven Bridges Divine Sense Cultivation Technique was something he couldn't help but be excited about. Looks like I've chosen the right time. Perhaps meeting you is my greatest fortune. Ding Si could no longer maintain his indifferent demeanor. Rumble. Waves of lightning flashed, but the waterfall-like Blade Mountain torrent didn't tear Ning Cheng to pieces as Ding Si had expected. Instead, it collided with a blue thunder city. When the blue thunder city and the Blade Mountain torrent collided, it created bursts of lightning arcs. Lu Fanglin, who was waiting for death, was about to be torn apart by the Blade Mountain torrent. However, a burst of blue lightning arcs appeared in front of her eyes. Ah! Lu Fanglin looked at Ning Cheng in surprise. She naturally saw the everlasting Blue Thunder City protecting her and Ning Cheng. She had always wondered why Ning Cheng didn't bring out the everlasting Blue Thunder City. It turned out that it was for this moment. The Blade Mountain torrent, which wanted to kill Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin, was blocked by a Thunder City. Ding Si's eyes widened and found that his spiritual consciousness couldn't sweep into the Thunder City at all. All he could see was the real lightning arcs created by the Blade Mountain torrent and the Thunder City. This is the everlasting Blue Thunder City. Ding Si's voice didn't just tremble. The everlasting Blue Thunder City was also an invaluable treasure. It was something beyond a spirit artifact. No wonder it could block his Blade Mountain. How many treasures did this Ning Cheng have? That's right, he must have found an inheritance ground, which allowed him to obtain the Seven Bridges Realm Book and the everlasting Blue Thunder City. These things, I want them all. Ding Si's heart grew hotter, and his eyes almost glowed with golden light. Choosing to kill Ning Cheng alone was the best thing he could have done. The Blade Mountain torrent that slammed into Ning Cheng's body suddenly turned into a dragon and turned into a blade stream with even more majestic momentum. The everlasting Blue Thunder City not only had defensive capabilities, but it also had powerful offensive capabilities. However, Ning Cheng only used the everlasting Blue Thunder City for defense. He didn't even use the everlasting Blue Thunder City to attack him. This made Ding Si understand that either Ning Cheng didn't have the ability to control the Thunder City to attack, or Ning Cheng didn't have full control over the everlasting Blue Thunder City. So what if you have the everlasting Blue Thunder City? You can't use the everlasting Blue Thunder City to attack me. Even if I use the Blade Mountain torrent, I can still kill you. Thinking of this, Ding Si felt even more grateful for the timing he chose. If he had recklessly tried to kill Ning Cheng before the burial shadow demon appeared, He might not have been able to kill Ning Cheng. Even if he ended up severely injuring Ning Cheng would have escaped. Dao friend Lu, attack Ding Si with all your strength. Feeling the increasing pressure, Ning Cheng took out a medicinal pill and swallowed it. He also called Lu Fonglin to attack with all her might. This time, he didn't swallow a healing medicinal pill but an explosive spirit pill. Ding Si's strength was far beyond his expectations. He had seen many Dao transformation sacred emperors, but none of them was as powerful as Ding Si. At this moment, Ning Cheng was just rejoicing that he had held back when dealing with the burial shadow demon. Otherwise, he would have died without a burial place today. After Lu Fonglin heard Ning Cheng's call, she didn't hesitate at all. The indefinite azure sword turned into an endless sword curtain and swept out. The sword curtain contained sword Dao laws and killing intent, which collided with Ding Si's blade mountain. Although Lu Fonglin didn't need to defend, her sword curtain was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot under Ding Si's blade mountain. The sword intent turned into countless sword flares and dissipated. At the same time, Lu Fonglin and Ding Si felt Ning Cheng's increasingly strong aura. This aura quickly broke through the Dao sculpting realm and reached the early stage Dao birth realm. Law breaking. Ning Cheng rushed out of the everlasting blue thunder fort and directly ignored the endless blade mountains crashing towards him. The law-breaking divine ability blasted out, and the surrounding laws instantly weakened. The majestic blade mountain also paused for a moment. Lu Fonglin didn't have time to worry about Ning Cheng. The moment she felt the pressure decrease, the indefinite azure sword turned into a sword dragon and rushed into the middle of the blade mountain. If she didn't go all out at this moment, she would lose her life later. Third bridge of the River of Forgetfulness. A long gray bridge shrouded in hazy mist appeared in front of Ding Si. Bridge of the River of Forgetfulness is a long journey. When you come, the River of Forgetfulness will turn to ashes. The surging Dao runes of the River of Forgetfulness blasted over. Ding Si was slightly startled, but he quickly sobered up and waved his hand fiercely. Blade Mountain breaks river. The stagnant Blade Mountain surged again. Whether this name happened to break the River of Forgetfulness or not, Ding Si wasn't worried at all. Chapter 1002. Boom. The torrent of the Blade Mountain slammed into the Forgetting River Bridge. The Forgetting River Bridge's Dao charm had yet to fully condense before it started to dissipate. Ning Cheng didn't expect these means to stop Ding Si. He already knew about Ding Si's strength the moment he brought out the Blade Mountain. What's more, his third Forgetting River Bridge had yet to fully condense, which meant that he couldn't restrain Ding Si. Ning Cheng's attacks provided an opportunity for Lu Fonglin. Lu Fonglin's Cyan Sword Dragon directly slashed at the Blade Mountain, which had already weakened a lot, causing the Blade Mountain to shake. The Blade Mountain's Dao charm and sword aura blasted the surrounding blue sand storm into nothingness, causing Ding Si and his Blade Mountain to pause for a moment. At this moment, Ning Cheng raised his hand and shot out a long black arrow. The long arrow hovered in the air, attached to the five-colored longbow that had appeared out of thin air. Ning Cheng's vigorous spirit essence and spiritual consciousness had been sucked away by the long arrow. Even if he took the spirit explosion pill, Ning Cheng's face still turned pale under this giant whale's absorption of water. The surging killing intent instantly engulfed everything in its path. At this moment, Ding Si's entire body froze as he stared in horror at the fading arrow. The killing intent was getting more and more terrifying as his heart turned cold. Five-colored star splitter arrow. With the five-colored star splitter arrow locked onto him, Ding Si didn't dare to move. He felt a little regretful in his heart. He shouldn't have started so early. He should have waited for the right opportunity. Even if he started so early, he should have been more vigilant and not let Ning Cheng's five-colored star splitter arrow lock onto him. He didn't expect Ning Cheng to be so patient. Even when he was about to die, Ning Cheng didn't bring out the five-colored star splitter arrow, nor did he take the spirit explosion pill. Did Ning Cheng already know that he was hiding on the side long ago, so he left it to deal with him? The killing intent rose crazily, and the aura of death spread out. Ding Si didn't even dare to tremble. His eyes stared at the fading five-colored star splitter arrow. Even if he knew that he couldn't avoid this arrow, he didn't want to die like this. The aura of death grew thicker and thicker. Looking at the five-colored longbow in the void, Ding Si's heart sank to the bottom. In this situation, he understood that he couldn't avoid the five-colored star splitter arrow no matter what. Even Lu Fanglin, who was standing at the side, felt a chill down her spine under this terrifying murderous intent. For the first time, she truly felt the terror of Ning Cheng. Previously, she had always thought that Ning Cheng only had the Seven Bridges spirit technique. But now, Ning Cheng displayed the law-breaking spirit technique that weakened the laws of heaven and earth, the laws of time, the peak-grade Heart Dao spirit technique none to depend on, and the everlasting Blue Thunder City. These powerful attacks were not his trump card. His trump card turned out to be the terrifying five-colored star splitter arrow. Ning Cheng's fearfulness and endurance made her heart turn cold. She wanted to know, if she didn't have the Dao-breaking bead, how would Ning Cheng deal with the burial shadow demons? Stop, you can't kill me. If you kill me, you will die without a burial place. Ding Si had just spoken the word earth when the five-colored star splitter arrow cut through space with a tearing sound. As for Ding Si's words, Ning Cheng treated them as farts. Ding Si wanted to kill him, so why would he care about Ding Si's threat? Even if he had to face the siege of several powerful burial shadow fiends after killing Ding Si, he would not hesitate to shoot this arrow. You. Ding Si's eyes flashed with a trace of unwillingness. Knowing that Ning Cheng would ignore his threat, he still felt extremely angry in his heart. Bang. Ding Si's body turned into a blood mist as the five-colored star splitter arrow shattered it. Ding Si's soul flew out from the blood mist. Ning Cheng opened his mouth and spat out a few more blood arrows. His entire body almost collapsed. With the burial shadow demon's spiritual consciousness injuring his sea of consciousness, he no longer had the ability to keep Ding Si's ring. Even if he knew that Ding Si's ring wasn't simple, he couldn't do anything about it. The only harvest was Ding Si's knife mountain artifact. Are you okay? Lu Fanglin quickly put away the shock in her heart and quickly stepped forward to support Ning Cheng, whose face was as pale as a piece of white paper. Ning Cheng put away the things and said, I have a true spirit world. I want to enter the true spirit world to heal. You can take my true spirit world to that place and call me when you arrive. Lu Fanglin agreed to Ning Cheng's request without hesitation. Ning Cheng didn't dare to let Lu Fanglin carry him, not because he was afraid of Lu Fanglin's temptation. Lu Fanglin and he had only met by chance. One might know a person's face but not their heart. In the face of so many good things, who knew if Lu Fanglin would suddenly fall for him? The true spirit world was his. Even if Lu Fanglin suddenly wanted to do something to him, he could blow up the true spirit world. Yan Ji had nothing to do in Ning Cheng's true spirit world and had been helping Ning Cheng look after the true spiritual grasses that had not yet been transplanted into the mysterious yellow bead. When Ning Cheng suddenly came in with serious injuries, she panicked. However, Ning Cheng knew that although his injuries looked serious, it would be much easier for him to recover than before. Now, in addition to healing Dao pills, he also had the Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation Pill. With the help of the Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation Pill, Ning Cheng forcibly cut off the burial shadow demon's spiritual consciousness and quickly repaired his sea of consciousness. 10 days later, Ning Cheng fully recovered. After telling Yan Ji not to worry, Ning Cheng swept out with his spiritual consciousness. He saw that Lu Fanglin's aura was a bit chaotic. Apparently, she had experienced a fierce battle not long ago. Moreover, she was also injured. Because he wanted to restore his strength as soon as possible, coupled with the fact that Lu Fanglin had been searching for the Valley of Life. Therefore, Ning Cheng had been concentrating on healing himself for the past few days and did not check on Lu Fanglin. He did not expect that Lu Fanglin would end up injured. What's the matter with you? Ning Cheng quickly left the true spirit world and asked. Thank the heavens, you finally recovered. Lu Fanglin immediately handed the true spirit world ring to Ning Cheng. After Ning Cheng put away the true spirit world, Lu Fanglin spoke up. 2 days ago, I met Wei Jingbing. I seriously injured him, but I also suffered some injuries. I was afraid that he would ambush me, so I wanted to leave as soon as possible. Ning Cheng did not ask again. Since Lu Fanglin met Wei Jingbing, it would have been strange if they did not fight. Fortunately, he had killed Ding Si. If Wei Jingbing had followed Ding Si, then Lu Fanglin would have died. How far is that place? Ning Cheng was more concerned about the dim star-hidden gold leaves. As long as Yan Ji's foundation did not recover, he could not feel at ease. Lu Fanglin spoke up with some doubts. There are not many things marked in the burial shadow blue sand. I only know that after entering the burial shadow blue sand, once you encounter a wave-like blue sand whirlpool, you have to walk in the opposite direction of the whirlpool. As long as you keep walking like this, you will definitely encounter a huge gray stone stele. After reaching that stone stele, I would know how to go. The strange thing is that I have been here for a month, but I still haven't found that gray stone stele. Ning Cheng suddenly thought of the map he had taken from the gutless intestine man. The entrance to the map was a gray stone stele. He quickly took out the map and spoke, "Is it this place?" "Hey, why do you have this map?" Lu Fanglin spoke in amazement and also took out a map, which looked exactly the same as the one Ning Cheng had. "I snatched it from a Taoist." Ning Cheng replied, "It's just that I don't know how to find this gray stone stele. Since you have a way, then let's continue with your method." Lu Fanglin did not know who the Taoist Ning Cheng was talking about was, but just nodded and spoke, "Okay." The blue sand whirlpools in the burial shadow blue sand came in a variety of shapes. There were not many wave-like whirlpools, but there were also not a lot of them. Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin walked for more than 10 days, but did not see any gray stone stele. Not knowing if the burial shadow demons in the burial shadow blue sand knew about Ning Cheng's 7 bridges, Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin walked for so many days, but did not meet a single burial shadow demon. "Wait." Ning Cheng stopped Lu Fanglin, who was about to continue forward. "According to your method, I'm afraid that I would have to try my luck. Let me lead the way for now." Lu Fanglin's face turned slightly red. She obviously understood Ning Cheng's meaning. That is, Ning Cheng suspected that the laws of this map were not completely correct, which led to them not being able to find the place. Now that he knew that there was a gray stone stele, Ning Cheng now had a goal. Previously, he did not want to fully spread out his spiritual consciousness because he did not want to waste it. But now that he had a goal, he naturally would not continue to hold back. Ning Cheng no longer held back his spiritual consciousness chop, and everything within a range of nearly 10,000 meters appeared clearly in his spiritual consciousness. His spiritual consciousness had really grown stronger, causing Ning Cheng to feel overjoyed. After using the Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation Pill to repair the damage to his sea of consciousness caused by the burial shadow demons, Ning Cheng felt that his spiritual consciousness had grown a lot stronger. Now that he verified it, he found that it really was the case. The burial shadow blue sand covered a vast area. Even with the range of his spiritual consciousness, it would still be difficult to find the gray stone stele in a short time. In other words, Ning Cheng's method could only rely on luck. Even if he divided the area to look for it, it would only depend on luck. If his luck was bad, then he might not be able to find it even after searching for a month or two. Ning Cheng's luck also turned out to be quite good. On the 3rd day, he found the gray stone stele. This gray stone stele looked like a hill, without any writing on it, nor did it have any trace of the Valley of Life around it. Lu Fanglin walked up to the gray stone stele and made a cut on her wrist, causing a line of blood to appear. Lu Fanglin placed her wrist on the gray stone stele, and the blood on her hand instantly sucked away. Just like the 5-colored star splitter arrow that had sucked away Ning Cheng's spirit essence. In just 3 breaths, Lu Fanglin's face turned as white as a sheet of paper. Wait. Ning Cheng had long since seen that something was wrong with this gray stone stele. Ning Cheng had just called out those 2 words, when Lu Fanglin's hand had already taken off the stone tablet, and at the same time spoke to Ning Cheng in a somewhat weak voice, "You have to do the same, otherwise, only I can go in alone." Lu Fanglin's words had just finished when a door suddenly appeared behind the stone stele. Ning Cheng took in a deep breath. He vaguely felt that something was wrong with this stone stele sucking blood. As for what was wrong with it, he couldn't tell. Lu Fanglin's blood had already been sucked away, so it was impossible for her to suck his blood. "Dao friend Lu, I don't think this is appropriate. Let's do it this way. I'll enter the true spirit world, and you can take my true spirit world with you. Ning Cheng spoke with a deep voice. Lu Fanglin shook her head. I'm afraid that won't work. I can't use my miniature world to take people in. The same goes for your true spirit world. Chapter 1003. Give it a try. If it really doesn't work, then we'll talk about it. I keep feeling that this vampiric stone steel is a little strange. You have to be careful. In just 3 breaths of time, I estimate that 90% of the blood in your body has already been absorbed. This pill is for you, it might help you a bit. Ning Cheng spoke in a cautious manner. Saying that, Ning Cheng took out a pill and placed it in Lu Fanglin's hands. Dao pills? Lu Fanglin looked at the medicinal pills in her hand in shock. She had no idea where Ning Cheng obtained so many Dao pills. The value of this Dao pill was much more precious than the hidden beautiful star gold leaf he was looking for, right? She really did not know what Ning Cheng was thinking. She was also a Dao birth alchemy deity, but a Dao pill was also very precious to her. Lu Fanglin knew that Ning Cheng was a mysterious person. But despite her doubts, she didn't ask anything and directly swallowed the Dao pill given to her by Ning Cheng. Even though she was a Dao actualization divine emperor, she felt uncomfortable after losing 90% of her blood. However, after swallowing the Dao pill, her blood quickly recovered. Not only that, but her whole body also became a lot more relaxed. Brother Ning, you can enter the true spirit world. I'll take you in. If it doesn't work, then we'll think of another way. Lu Fanglin said. All right, 3 breaths after I enter the true spirit world, you rush through the door. The faster, the better. After Ning Cheng finished, he put the true spirit world ring into Lu Fanglin's hand and entered the true spirit world in a flash. Within the true spirit world, Ning Cheng waited for 3 breaths before immediately entering the minor 5-element array of the mysterious yellow bead with Yen Ji. If not for Yen Ji, Ning Cheng would not have to worry about anything. However, Yen Ji was from the human race. Her aura and the laws of cultivation methods all belonged to the human race. His mysterious yellow bead still lacked the other half of the wood origin bead. As such, apart from himself, no one else from the human race could enter it. Ning Cheng believed that in the mysterious yellow bead's minor 5 elements array formation, he would be able to persist for 3 breaths of time. If it really did not work, then he would have no choice but to bleed. As long as he could persist in the mysterious yellow bead for a few breaths, Ning Cheng was sure that Lu Fanglin would be able to bring him in. No matter how high the level of the laws within this gray stone steel was, it was definitely not as high as the mysterious yellow bead. If it was even higher than the mysterious yellow bead's laws, then this thing was simply heaven-defying. Lu Fanglin, in strict accordance with Ning Cheng's instructions, waited for 3 breaths of time, and then used her fastest speed to rush into the door behind the gray steel. According to Lu Fanglin's plan, the moment she entered the door, she would be thrown out by a strong force. To Lu Fanglin's surprise, she rushed through the door and even ran more than 10 meters, but she was not pushed out. Just as Ning Cheng expected, when he brought Yen Ji into the minor 5 elements array, a powerful law force blasted them out. Fortunately, this mysterious yellow bead had already recognized him as its master. It was just that its wood origin was incomplete. Otherwise, Yen Ji's life would have been difficult to keep. After Ning Cheng was pushed out of the mysterious yellow bead, he immediately came out of the mysterious yellow bead. He saw that he was surrounded by a verdant green color, while Lu Fanglin was staring at the true spirit world in her hand in a daze. Thank you. Ning Cheng felt relieved in his heart. He knew that he had finally entered this medicinal valley. I didn't expect that the true spirit world could really bring people in. It's completely different from what I heard when I got the map. Lu Fanglin gave a sigh and handed the true spirit world to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng took the true spirit world and hesitated for a moment before speaking. My true spirit world is different from others. Although my world can bring people in, it doesn't mean that others can as well. Also, I want to tell you that this gray steel is really weird, so you must be careful. As for what's wrong with it, I can't tell you. If it were his woman, Ning Cheng would not hesitate to check her entire body several times without missing a single spot. Lu Fanglin was not his woman, so he hesitated to help her check it out. I know, I'll be careful. Lu Fanglin spoke up casually. Apparently, she did not take this matter to heart. Ning Cheng remembered that Lu Fanglin had brought him in. Although he felt a little worried that Lu Fanglin would misunderstand him, he hesitated for a while before speaking up. If you don't mind, I can help you check it out. My spiritual consciousness is different from ordinary people's spiritual consciousness. If there is something wrong with your body, I have a high chance of helping you find it. If I just want to check if there is anything wrong with your body, then you won't have any secrets. Lu Fanglin's face turned red when she heard Ning Cheng's words. She suspected that Ning Cheng said it on purpose. The reason why she didn't care was that after hearing Ning Cheng's words, she carefully checked her body with her spiritual consciousness and didn't find anything wrong. She was with Ning Cheng not only because Ning Cheng saved her, but also because Ning Cheng looked at her differently from other people. He didn't have any desire to possess her. But she soon remembered that when Ning Cheng saw her for the first time, he definitely had some impulse. As a woman born with a seductive body, she was extremely sensitive to this aspect. Now that Ning Cheng said that he would help her check her body, she suddenly felt a little awkward in her heart. Ning Cheng was strong, but his cultivation base was just a Tao molding divine emperor. She was also a Tao transformation divine emperor. She was weaker than Ning Cheng, but she didn't have as many top-grade treasures as Ning Cheng. Did she, a Tao transformation divine emperor, need a Tao molding divine emperor to check if there was anything wrong with her body? No, thank you. I think since everyone has come in, let's go our separate ways. I'm going to go to the right, what about you? Lu Fanglin originally planned to go with Ning Cheng. But now that Ning Cheng wanted to check her body, she no longer felt as natural as before when she stood with Ning Cheng. She also felt a little disgusted in her heart. She was born with a seductive body, but she wasn't a fickle woman. The good impression that Ning Cheng gave her before also gradually dissipated. Ning Cheng touched his nose awkwardly. He really didn't think the way Lu Fanglin thought. Since Lu Fanglin misunderstood him and proposed to go their separate ways, he naturally couldn't stay by her side. He nodded and said, "Then I'll go from the left. See you later. We'll meet again." After Lu Fanglin finished speaking, her figure flashed and she fled to the right. Soon she disappeared. At least Lu Fanglin wasn't wrong about one thing. Not only were there many divine grasses here, but most of them were rare species. Ning Cheng even found 3 or 4 Tao fruit trees. Before seeing the hidden beautiful star gold leaf, Ning Cheng really didn't have the mood to pick other divine grasses. According to Lu Fanglin, if he didn't go out in 15 days, he would be teleported away. Therefore, Ning Cheng wanted to find the hidden beautiful star gold leaf within half a month. Ning Cheng moved quickly along the way. In the beginning, he would stop to collect rare divine grasses along the way. Later on, to save time, he directly skipped them. As the days passed, Ning Cheng grew more and more anxious. On the 11th day, he finally saw a small patch of pale golden divine grasses. These divine grasses looked like leaves growing out of the soil, with star-shaped leaves on both sides. Hidden beautiful star gold leaf? Ning Cheng almost screamed out in excitement. He quickly confirmed that this was indeed a hidden beautiful star gold leaf. This small patch of hidden beautiful star gold leaf contained at least 20 stalks. Ning Cheng held back his excitement and carefully dug out more than 20 stalks of hidden beautiful star gold leaf. Junior apprentice Sister Ji, I found the hidden beautiful star gold leaf. Ning Cheng took the hidden beautiful star gold leaf and entered the true spirit world with joy. Within the true spirit world, Yan Ji felt equally excited on seeing Ning Cheng find the hidden beautiful star gold leaf. Although she felt satisfied with being together with Ning Cheng. If she could restore her foundation and continue cultivating, she naturally wanted to cultivate to a higher realm. 1,000,000 years would pass in a blink of an eye when she was with her beloved. How could time be too much? Only by cultivating to a higher realm would she have more time. Then let's hurry out. It's too dangerous here. Ever since Ning Cheng came in with serious injuries a few days ago, Yan Ji had been worried about him. Don't worry. I'll refine the true extreme spirit recovery pill for you now. After that, you can restore your foundation and cultivate in the true spirit world. How could Ning Cheng wait until he left the burial shadow blue sand to refine the true extreme spirit recovery pill? Now that he had gathered all the spiritual grasses, He immediately started refining the pill. The true extreme spirit recovery pill was just a Tao sculpting pill. Ning Cheng could easily refine Tao transformation pills, so refining a Tao sculpting pill wouldn't take much effort. Ning Cheng had more than a dozen sets of the true extreme spirit recovery pill's main ingredients: true extreme Tao fruit, Dan essence, and hidden beautiful star gold leaf. Therefore, he didn't worry about it breaking. In just the first batch of true extreme spirit recovery pills, Ning Cheng refined 12 top-quality true extreme spirit recovery pills. The value of the true extreme spirit recovery pill was extremely high, even higher than ordinary Tao transformation pills. This medicinal pill required one of the most difficult herbs to find. This herb wasn't the true extreme Tao fruit, nor was it the hidden beautiful star gold leaf, but the Dan essence. Ning Cheng happened to have a large mass of high-quality Dan essence. Yan Ji watched Ning Cheng refine pills from the side. When Ning Cheng refined 12 top-quality true extreme spirit recovery pills, she felt equally excited. Ning Cheng took out a true extreme spirit recovery pill and put it into Yan Ji's mouth. The true extreme spirit recovery pill quickly turned into a foundation-repairing aura that spread throughout Yan Ji's Zifu and meridians. 2 hours later, Ning Cheng could clearly feel the changes in Yan Ji. The weakness in Yan Ji gradually disappeared, and the Tao charm around her gathered once again. At the same time, her cultivation also rose and reached the late-stage life and death realm. When Yan Ji underwent spiritual cleansing, her cultivation aptitude had improved once. Later, she used a top-grade Tao fruit to repair her foundation, which improved her aptitude once again. This time, Ning Cheng used the true extreme spirit recovery pill to repair her foundation for the third time. From this, one could say that Yan Ji's aptitude now rivaled the top geniuses in the grand essence realm. Ning Cheng, I'm fine. Even after finding Ning Cheng, Yan Ji, who still felt a little hesitant, no longer felt that kind of hesitation. Instead, she hugged Ning Cheng tightly without reservation. All her efforts were worth it. She had done a lot for Ning Cheng, and Ning Cheng was also willing to do a lot for her. Ning Cheng breathed in slightly, and the stone hanging in his heart finally fell down. There was still a long time before the 5 Realms pill competition. After leaving the burial shadow blue sand, he had to go back to see Lufei and Ruolan. Thinking of Luf, Ning Cheng inexplicably thought of Lu Fanglin's seductive appearance. Yan Ji hugged Ning Cheng tightly. She could clearly feel every change in Ning Cheng's body. Although she dared to love and hate, in the face of this kind of thing, she suddenly felt at a loss. Her entire body trembled. Chapter 1004. Ning Cheng also felt the changes in Yan Ji. He took in a deep breath and patted Yan Ji's back. You should hurry up and cultivate here. There are all kinds of cultivation resources here. I'll go out and dig up more divine grasses, and then we can go back and see Lufei. Yan Ji nodded. Even if her cultivation had recovered, she didn't have much strength left at this moment. Leaving Yan Ji to cultivate in the true spirit world, Ning Cheng continued to look for divine grasses here. With Yan Ji fully recovered, Ning Cheng no longer had any worries. Along the way, he dug up all the valuable divine grasses and put them into the true spirit world. Just when Ning Cheng wondered if Lu Fanglin had found the patterned bone flower, he saw a divine grass that he had never seen before. To be precise, it wasn't a grass, but a flower. It was only a foot tall and had a thumb-thick root with a single flower at the top. Contrary to the beautiful star gold hidden leaf, the beautiful star gold hidden leaf only had one leaf. But this flower only had one flower. Ning Cheng had seen all kinds of flowers, some beautiful, some fragrant, and some smelly. But he was sure that this flower was the most beautiful one he had ever seen. When the flower bloomed, several colors intertwined with each other. At first glance, it seemed to have only one color. But when he looked closely, he saw more than a dozen colors. There were 2 pure white petals in the middle of these blooming flowers, and there were even lines on the petals. The entire flower looked very beautiful, but it also gave people a sad feeling. It seemed to be telling a story without an end, which added a lot of sadness to it. To be precise, the beauty of this flower was a kind of poignant beauty. Ning Cheng immediately knew what this flower was. It must be the patterned bone flower. He knew about the patterned bone poison and the patterned bone flower, but it was his first time seeing this flower. No wonder Lu Fanglin wanted to look for the patterned bone flower here. He didn't expect to find it here. He didn't know if there were any detoxifying herbs for the patterned bone poison here. Whether there were any detoxifying herbs for the patterned bone poison or not, Ning Cheng carefully dug up the patterned bone flower and put it into the true spirit world. At the same time, he reminded Yan Ji that this flower was highly poisonous. If Lu Fanglin didn't find the patterned bone flower after leaving this place, he would give this patterned bone flower to Lu Fanglin to repay her for bringing him in. The value of the patterned bone flower was definitely more precious than an ordinary Dao transformation Dao fruit. It was extremely rare and very difficult to grow. Half a month quickly passed by, and just as Lu Fanglin had said, Ning Cheng was directly sent out of the medicinal valley. There were no gray stone tablets around, nor was there Lu Fanglin. Needless to say, Lu Fanglin's location was different from his. After Ning Cheng confirmed that Lu Fanglin was not around, he prepared to leave the burial shadow blue sand. Ning Cheng felt very satisfied with this trip to the burial shadow blue sand region. He had encountered many dangers, and he had almost died in the blue burial shadow sand. However, the harvest was much more than that. The most important thing was to completely restore Yanji's foundation, and also to improve her qualifications by a level. Aside from the buried shadow fiends, the path out of the buried shadow blue sand wasn't easy to find. Many people had entered the blue shadow burial sand, but in the end, they had lost their way and perished there. Ning Cheng's cultivation was at the Dao sculpting Holy Emperor realm, but his sea of consciousness and spiritual consciousness were far stronger than Dao sculpting Holy Emperors. Even ordinary Dao transformation Holy Emperors couldn't compare to him. A place like the burial shadow blue sand region suppressed one's spiritual consciousness. Ordinary Holy Emperors had their own ways to extend their spiritual consciousness, just like how Lu Fanglin could bring out her thoughtless rainbow beads to defend herself. The stronger one's spiritual consciousness, the higher the chance of survival and the greater the chance of finding a way out. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness was not only powerful, but it could also stretch out a much wider range than others in the burial shadow blue sand region. Plus, after the battle with the buried shadow fiends, no buried shadow fiends dared to attack him. It only took him 7 days to walk out of the burial shadow blue sand region. From the Grand Essence Ruins public square to the entrance of the Grand Essence Ruins, it was a semi-desert zone. Many cultivators said that the most dangerous place in the Grand Essence Ruins wasn't the depths of the Grand Essence Ruins, but this semi-desert zone. Because this place didn't belong to the Grand Essence Ruins public square, no one cared about fighting here. Even if someone killed you here, no one would care. Many cultivators, who offended powerhouses, would end up dead before they could even enter the Grand Essence Ruins. In fact, once one entered the Grand Essence Ruins, there were many places to escape. At this moment, a battered figure rushed towards the Grand Essence Ruins. But due to his severe injuries, someone stopped him from entering the semi-desert zone before entering the Grand Essence Ruins. Qi Shizingsing, if I were you, I'd rather hide in the Grand Essence Mystic Realm. If I came out, I'd die. Why bother? The one who spoke was a late-stage Dao Birth Realm cultivator. He and another early-stage Dao Birth Realm cultivator blocked Qi Shizingsing's path. Qi Shizingsing was just about to speak when he suddenly stared at the starry sky wheel flying in from afar. He was too familiar with Ning Cheng's starry sky wheel. Then, he saw Ning Cheng standing at the front of the starry sky wheel. At the same time that Qi Shizingsing saw Ning Cheng also saw Qi Shizingsing. After Yan Ji recovered her foundation, she stayed in the true spirit world to cultivate. Ning Cheng came out of the Grand Essence Ruins Shadow Burial Blue Sand and prepared to wait for Lu Fanglin in the Grand Essence Ruins for a few days. If she didn't show up, he would return to stately River Star. He didn't expect to see Qi Shizingsing, who he hadn't seen for a long time, at the entrance to the Grand Essence Ruins. Qi Shizingsing didn't feel surprised to see Ning Cheng at this time. Instead, he felt anxious. He turned around anxiously and wanted to rush out diagonally. He hoped that Ning Cheng wouldn't fall into the trap after seeing him. With 2 Dao Birth Holy Emperors here, killing Ning Cheng would be as easy as pinching an ant. You want to leave? The early-stage Dao Birth Realm cultivator's tooth stinger transformed into a thorny heavenly curtain that trapped Qi Shizingsing. A powerful domain and the pressure of a Dao Birth Holy Emperor swept over. Qi Shizingsing couldn't even move and felt completely bound. He had just successfully sculpted his Dao and hadn't even stabilized his Dao foundation. Facing two Dao Birth Holy Emperors, it would have been strange if he could even move. If not for these two Dao Birth Holy Emperors not wanting to kill him and just wanting to take him away, he would have died a long time ago. After the early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor trapped Qi Shizingsing, he threw out a rope-type weapon. The rope-type weapon seemed to have eyes of its own and transformed into a circle that wrapped around Qi Shizingsing. Just as the rope was about to bind Qi Shizingsing, a flame suddenly burst out in front of Qi Shizingsing. The rope-type weapon that was about to bind Qi Shizingsing was wrapped up by the flame and turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye. The Dao Birth Holy Emperor, who wanted to bind Qi Shizingsing, felt a sharp pain in his sea of consciousness. Just as he realized what had happened, his rope-type weapon got burned. At the same time, he saw Ning Cheng, who had put away the starry sky wheel. "Who are you? How dare you attack me for no reason?" The early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor shouted. He could see that Ning Cheng only had a Dao sculpting Holy Emperor cultivation. If Ning Cheng hadn't easily burned his rope-type weapon, he would have already taken action. Ning Cheng ignored this early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor. After the celestial river flame burned the rope-type weapon, it turned around again. The thorns binding Qi Shizingsing turned into raging flames and quickly dissipated. Qi Shizingsing relaxed and immediately landed beside Ning Cheng. He then looked at Ning Cheng in shock. He couldn't think of what to ask Ning Cheng for a long time. "Are you Pilsage Ning?" The late-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor, who was about to make a move, immediately recognized Ning Cheng. Qi Shizingsing finally recovered and asked in shock, "Ning Cheng, when did you become a Pilsage?" Qi Shizingsing knew that Ning Cheng was a Pil Emperor, but he couldn't believe that Ning Cheng was a Pilsage. The difference was too big. Let's talk about this later. First, why are these two chasing you? Ning Cheng stared at the two Dao Birth Holy Emperors in front of him and asked Qi Shizingsing. Only then did Qi Shizingsing remember that Ning Cheng had burned a Dao Birth Holy Emperor's weapon with a fire and even broke the spirit technique of this early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor in front of him. Back in the Grand Essence Mystic Realm, Ning Cheng's cultivation seemed to be similar to his. How did Ning Cheng improve so much? The late-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor didn't wait for Qi Shizingsing to answer. He cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng and said, "Since you're a friend of Pilsage Ning, we don't dare to offend you anymore. Goodbye." After the late-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor finished speaking, he pulled the early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor and instantly left. Ning Cheng didn't know the whole story, nor did he chase after them. It was fine as long as Qi Shizingsing was fine. "Dao friend Ao, why did you pull me away? Although that person's flame is powerful, he's just a Dao sculpting Holy Emperor. Can't the two of us kill him? If we retreat like this, how will we report back?" The early-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor asked unwillingly. The late-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Ao said in a deep voice, "Brother Huan, didn't you hear me call that mortal Pilsage? So what if he's a Pilsage? A mere Dao sculpting Pilsage dares to?" "Shut up." Before the Holy Emperor surnamed Huan could finish speaking, the Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Ao quickly stopped him. In addition to being a Pilsage, his surname is also Ning. The Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Huan didn't react immediately. But this time, he quickly understood and exclaimed, "Dao friend Ao, you're saying that he's that Dao Essence Pilsage Ning Cheng?" The Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Ao snorted but just nodded without answering. After getting a positive answer, the Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Heng suddenly broke out in cold sweat. With their trivial Dao Birth Holy Emperor surnamed Ning Cheng, fighting against a Dao Essence Pilsage meant that they didn't know how to write the word death. Ning Cheng wasn't only a Dao Essence Pilsage but also a powerhouse representing the Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms Pill competition. As long as he raised his arm and called for help, how many people would be willing to help him kill people? Perhaps Ning Cheng would just say a word here, and his head would fall off. Dao friend Ao, thank you this time. I won't do this task. The early stage Dao birth Holy Emperor surnamed Huan took a deep breath and said with fear. The late stage Dao birth Holy Emperor surnamed Ao also nodded. I won't do it either. I didn't expect Ning Qing to have such a good relationship with Qi Shixingsing. It's already a good thing that he didn't find trouble with me. Do you want me to continue chasing after Qi Shixingsing? Unless I'm tired of living. The two no longer had the mood to talk. They didn't even stay on the Grand Essence Ruins public square and directly left the Grand Essence Ruins public square through the teleportation array. Chapter 1005. Watching the two Dao Nourishment Holy Emperors chasing after him flee, Qi Shixingsing looked at Ning Cheng in disbelief. Ning Cheng, how did you become so powerful? It could burn a Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor's magic artifact, break a Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor's god art, and scare away two Dao Nourishment Divine Emperors? Also, when did you become a pill saint? When Ning Cheng saw that Qi Shixingsing didn't even know about these things, he understood that Qi Shixingsing had never come into contact with people and things outside before. Otherwise, his reputation as a primordial Dao alchemy saint would have long reached Qi Shixingsing's ears. 13. We'll talk about this later. I want to ask you, where did you go after coming out of the Grand Essence Mystic Realm? When I participated in the Grand Essence Great Meet, I was counting on your dad to help me. But who knew that you wouldn't show up? That old man Huishan almost killed me. Ning Cheng suspected that something had happened to Qi Shixingsing's father. Otherwise, the profound Moon Spirit Gate wouldn't have changed the sect masters so casually. Qi Shixingsing's face suddenly turned ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, as soon as I came out, my mother sent me to a place for secluded cultivation. She said that I can only come out after I reach the Dao sculpting realm. In fact, I can't even open that place without Dao molding. I told them that I wanted to see you participate in the Grand Essence Great Meet. In the end, my father said that he would help me cheer for you. Ning Qing felt even more suspicious. Why didn't Qi Shixingsing's father cheer for him during the Grand Essence Great Meet? If Qi Shixingsing's father had truly died, he wouldn't have given 10 bottles of Empyrean Consciousness Transmutation Pills to the Star Stepping Tower Master, and he wouldn't have ended up being chased around by Man Huishan. With Qi Shixingsing's father's status, it was impossible for him to lie to Qi Shixingsing. The only possibility was that something had happened to Qi Chang'e. I also know that I've spent too much time in the Grand Essence Mystic Realm, so I didn't resist and decided to come out after sculpting my Dao. In the end, before I could complete my Dao modeling, my seclusion place was forcibly opened by my sister. As Qi Shixingsing spoke until here, his voice trembled with anger. My big sister told me not to go back to the sect after sculpting my Dao. She told me to go directly to the Grand Essence Ruins to find the Grand Spirit Technique, the Grand Essence Spirit Thunder. After reaching the Dao Essence Realm, I would come back to avenge my parents. What the hell is going on? Ning Cheng asked in a dignified tone. Qi Shixingsing took in a deep breath and was just about to speak when a shadow rushed out from the depths of the Grand Essence Ruins. This shadow flitted past Ning Cheng and Qi Shixingsing for a few breaths before turning around and landing beside Ning Cheng. Qi Shixingsing, who was about to continue speaking, suddenly stopped when he saw someone coming over. Dao friend Lu, I was planning to go to the Grand Essence Ruins to wait for you for a few days. Ning Cheng immediately recognized the person who had returned as Lu Fonglin. Ning Cheng's words were only half spoken when he stopped, as he saw that Lu Fonglin was injured once again. It seemed that every time he saw Lu Fonglin, she would be injured. It should be said that this time, Lu Fonglin was not injured, but poisoned. If it was before, Ning Cheng was not sure what kind of poison Lu Fonglin was suffering from. After obtaining a pattern bone flower, Ning Cheng was now sure that Lu Fonglin was suffering from the pattern bone poison. Lu Fonglin had gone to look for the vein bone poison. Why was she the one who was poisoned by the vein bone poison? Lu Fonglin's cultivation should be far inferior to that skeletal man from the Void Star sect. Moreover, that skeletal man could suppress his poison to the point that no poisonous aura overflowed from his body. But looking at Lu Fonglin's appearance, even people who didn't understand her could see that she was deeply poisoned. Brother Ning, I guess you should have come out by now. I didn't expect to see you here. Lu Fanglin spoke in a hurry. Apparently, she knew about her own situation. Wait. Ning Qing stopped Lu Fanglin. Did Wei Jingbing chase after you? Lu Fanglin nodded. Yes, I poisoned him. But I didn't expect him to have a powerful spirit technique that even caused a backlash. You again? As Lu Fanglin's voice fell, Wei Jingbing rushed out of the depths of the Grand Essence ruins and landed not far away. He then stared at Ning Cheng and Lu Fanglin with a hostile expression. He soon saw Qi Shizengxing and spoke up in surprise. Qi Shizengxing? You're still alive? Qi Shizengxing's killing intent erupted from his body. Wei Jingbing, you dog. Your Wei clan is a beast. My sister was lucky enough to survive. If anything happens to her, I'll make sure not even an ant in the Wei family survives. Ning Cheng then saw that Wei Jingbing was indeed poisoned, and it was also the vein bone poison. Wei Jingbing ignored Qi Shizengxing's curses and just stared at Ning Cheng with a cold snort. He then brought out a flight-type weapon and quickly disappeared. He had seen Ning Cheng's strength with his own eyes, and he had also fought head-on against Ning Cheng. Not to mention that he was poisoned by the vein bone poison, which would quickly corrode his cultivation. Even if he was not poisoned, he would not be a match against Ning Cheng. Lu Fanglin didn't know Qi Shizengxing, nor did she know why Qi Shizengxing had a grudge against the Wei clan. She saw Wei Jingbing walk away, and then spoke to Ning Cheng. Elder brother Ning, I'm afraid I won't be able to live for long. After my husband passed away, I didn't have any true friends. If there's anyone I can trust, it's you. I want to ask you to help me with something. Ning Cheng raised his hand to stop Lu Fanglin from continuing. Dao friend Lu, let's not talk about life and death for the time being. Follow me to the Grand Essence Ruins public square and find a rest stop to stay in. At that time, I might be able to help you detoxify it. You can detoxify the vein bone poison? Lu Fanglin subconsciously exclaimed. But then she reacted and bowed to Ning Cheng. Elder brother Ning, thank you for your kindness. There's no other way to detoxify the vein bone poison except for the heaven-extending vein bone pill. After that, she seemed to be afraid that Ning Cheng didn't understand and explained, not to mention that the medicinal herbs for the heaven-extending vein bone pill are extremely precious. Even if you obtain the medicinal herbs for the heaven-extending vein bone pill, it would be useless. Because the heaven-extending vein bone pill is a Dao transformation pill, it's also one of the most difficult Dao transformation pills to refine in the world. I'm afraid that even a Dao transformation pill sage can't refine the heaven-extending vein bone pill. Ning Cheng remained silent for a while before speaking. I can't guarantee that I can help you detoxify the vein bone poison. But if you believe me, then come with me to the Grand Essence Ruins rest stop and wait for a while. If you don't believe me, then please tell me what you need my help with. As long as it's within my power, I will definitely help you. The reason why Ning Cheng asked Lu Fanglin to wait for a while in the Grand Essence Ruins was because he felt sure that as long as he showed up, the Void Star Sect's sect master would immediately find him and ask him to help refine the heaven-extending vein bone pill. As long as the Void Star Sect's sect master asked him to refine the pill, then Lu Fanglin's vein bone poison could be cured. It's just that Lu Fanglin didn't quite believe him. The last time in the Medicine Valley, he said that he would help Lu Fanglin check her body, which made Lu Fanglin suspicious of him. If he insisted that Lu Fanglin wait with him, it would most likely backfire. Besides, everyone's fate was linked to their own decisions. If Lu Fanglin had to leave the Grand Essence Ruins public square, then he could only wish her good luck and help her fulfill her last wish. Lu Fanglin didn't expect that after she said that the heaven-extending vein bone pill was extremely difficult to refine, Ning Cheng would still say that he could help her detoxify it. If it were anyone else, they would most likely doubt Ning Cheng's motives. After looking at Ning Cheng's eyes for a while, she took in a deep breath and said, "Okay, I'll wait with you for 10 days. I can only suppress the vein bone poison for about a month at most. If I can't get rid of it in 10 days, I can't wait any longer. I have to save some time to do what I want to do." It wasn't that she believed that Ning Cheng could cure her vein bone poison, but that she really wanted Ning Cheng to help her with something. If she refused Ning Cheng's requests one after another, then even if Ning Cheng helped her, he wouldn't do his best. Ning Cheng showed a slight smile. If I can get rid of it, then I wouldn't have to wait for 10 days. If I can't get rid of it, then even waiting for 10 years wouldn't help me. If the Void Star sect could find the Grand Essence Ruins public square, then it wouldn't even take 10 days. If the Void Star sect's people still hadn't found them after 10 days, then it meant that the Void Star sect's sect master had found someone else to refine pills for him. Lu Fanglin seemed to not have once again refused Ning Cheng's request, but after listening to Ning Cheng's words, she suddenly said, "If you really can detoxify the poison in my body, then I am willing to let you help me examine my body." Ning Cheng felt a little speechless. She spoke as if checking her body was some kind of welfare. "I'm helping you, not asking for welfare." But then again, checking Lu Fanglin's body really did seem like a welfare. Ning Cheng touched his chin and didn't know how to answer Lu Fanglin's words. Should he answer, "Yes," or, "I'm helping you, not asking for welfare"? Qi Shizingsing walked over and patted Ning Cheng on the shoulder. "Ning Cheng, you're amazing. Elder sister Lu is the most attractive woman I've ever seen. Congratulations." At this moment, he seemed to have forgotten that he had just been chased like a stray dog by someone. "Don't talk nonsense. Dao friend Lu and I are in a mutually beneficial relationship. Shizingsing, let's go to the Grand Essence Ruins public square first. Let's go to the rest stop first." Ning Cheng quickly stopped Qi Shizingsing from talking nonsense. Qi Shizingsing immediately thought of his family's matters and no longer had the mood to joke around with Ning Cheng. His face sank again. Spirit Thunder Pavilion, the Grand Essence Ruins premier rest stop. Ning Cheng proposed that the three of them stay in a large room, and Lu Fanglin unexpectedly didn't raise any objections. No matter what Ning Cheng thought, it didn't affect her. The Spirit Thunder Pavilion had a large room with 7 or 8 smaller rooms inside. Everyone had their own room, and as long as Ning Cheng didn't go to her room, it wouldn't matter. Ning Cheng naturally wouldn't go to Lu Fanglin's room. As soon as he entered the rest stop, he chatted with Qi Shizingsing for most of the day. Qi Shizingsing's father had fallen victim to Grand Elder Fei Feng's plot during seclusion for a mysterious weapon. Qi Shizingsing's mother suffered serious injuries in order to save Qi Zhangge. Despite her injuries, Qi Shizingsing's mother managed to escape with Qi Yuling. At the same time, he told Qi Yuling everything and gave her a jade strip. He also asked Qi Yuling to tell Qi Shizingsing not to return to the sect. He also asked Qi Shizingsing to find the famous Grand Essence Spirit Thunder in the Grand Essence realm according to the address on the jade strip. However, Qi Yuling didn't immediately go to her younger brother, Qi Shizingsing. Instead, she went to the Battle Shore Cliffs Wei clan. She wanted to find Wei He. However, before she arrived at the Battle Shore Cliffs Wei clan, she accidentally heard the news that the Wei clan supported Fei Feng and wanted to capture her and her brother. "What about your sister?" Ning Cheng quickly asked. Qi Shizingsing was being chased by 2 Dao Nourishment Holy Emperors, which meant that Qi Yuling's treatment wouldn't be any better. She said that she wanted to go to another place and told me not to worry and to focus on cultivation. I waited until I reached the Dao sculpting realm before coming out. After coming out, I prepared to go to the Grand Essence Ruins, but I ended up being chased by those 2 fellows. Qi Shizingsing spoke those words, but he couldn't hide the worry in his eyes. Ning Cheng gave out a sigh and gave a brief account of his own experiences. Just when the two were about to end their conversation, Lu Fanglin's voice came from outside the door. "Brother Ning, the Wei clan's people are here. They're now blocking our room." Chapter 1006. Wei Clan? Ning Cheng stood up and walked out with Qi Shizingsing. This Wei clan came very quickly. It had only been half a day, yet someone had already come to support them? Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept out and saw 3 people outside. He knew 2 of them, Wei He and Wei Jingbing. The other one, who he didn't know, happened to have the highest cultivation. Ning Cheng felt that the other party should be a Dao Essence Holy Emperor. Facing a Dao Essence Holy Emperor, Ning Cheng didn't dare to open the restrictions casually. He swept out with his spiritual consciousness to see if this Dao Essence Holy Emperor didn't follow the rules and started a fight here. Ning Cheng didn't expect to see a familiar person, Percy of the Void Star sect, even though he did not see any place to go. Since Percy was here, It meant that he knew he had come. The reason why he didn't come to find him now was that he was too embarrassed to see him. Since Percy had arrived, then that sect master with a dark face and slender eyes would also come here. Since the Void Star Sect's people found this place so quickly, it was similar to what he had guessed. Thinking of this, Ning Cheng took out a medicinal pill and handed it to Lu Fanglin. Take this medicinal pill first. What medicinal pill is this? Lu Fanglin didn't understand why Ning Cheng would give her a medicinal pill for no reason, even though she knew that Ning Cheng had many good pills. This pill can suppress your pattern bone poison and prevent it from spreading. Ning Cheng casually said. His medicinal pill had nothing to do with detoxification. It just helped Lu Fanglin restrain the overflowing pattern bone poison aura so that outsiders couldn't see it. Ning Cheng did this because he feared that the poisoned fellow from the Void Star sect would notice that Lu Fanglin was also poisoned by the pattern bone poison, which would lower his bargaining power. After giving the medicinal pill to Lu Fanglin, Ning Cheng sent out another message. This time, he sent a message to Gong Yangdi, inviting him to come here as a guest. In case the Void Star sect couldn't arrive in time, Gong Yangdi would be here to save his life. Lu Fanglin was a Tao-nourishing pill deity. As soon as she took the medicinal pill Ning Cheng gave her, she understood that it wasn't a detoxification pill. But she soon understood Ning Cheng's meaning. Ning Cheng's medicinal pill wasn't a detoxification pill, but it could restrain her aura. Seeing Ning Cheng walk over to open the restrictions, Lu Fanglin quickly shouted, "No, they have a Tao essence." Regardless of whether Lu Fanglin agreed or not, Ning Cheng had already opened the room's restrictions. Lu Fanglin sighed and didn't continue. She could only stand beside Ning Cheng with Qi Shizingsing. If Ning Cheng did not open the restrictions on the door, then these people would not dare to break the restrictions on the room. Now that Ning Cheng directly opened the restrictions on the room, they could only resign themselves to fate. The first to walk in was the Tao Essence Divine Emperor. He glanced at Ning Cheng and his eyes fell on Lu Fanglin. His eyes flashed with an imperceptible heat. Behind this Tao Essence Divine Emperor was Wei He and Wei Jingbing. Wei He nodded to Ning Cheng, indicating that everyone knew each other. "Why do you want to oppose my Wei family?" The Tao Essence Sacred Emperor's gaze quickly fell on Ning Cheng. As for Qi Shizingsing, he completely ignored him. Just as Wei Jingbing said, Ning Cheng really only had Tao Molding Divine Emperor cultivation. Yet he could defeat Wei Jingbing with such cultivation, which shocked him greatly. If this place was not the Divine Thunder House, he could have directly taken down Ning Cheng and then forced Ning Cheng to speak. But this was the Divine Thunder House, and his Wei family couldn't do anything casually. Ning Cheng walked to a chair in the living room and sat down. Then he said with a smile, "Everyone, sit down and talk." He wasn't in a hurry. At least before Gong Yangdi arrived, he wouldn't rush to clash with the other party. He still had doubts in his heart. It stood to reason that his reputation shouldn't be this small. It was understandable that Wei Jingbing didn't know that he was a Tao Essence Pill Saint. But why didn't Wei He and this Tao Essence Divine Emperor know about him? This made Ning Cheng feel like a failure. Seeing Ning Cheng sit down, Lu Fanglin and Qi Shizingsing also sat down next to Ning Cheng. The three people from the Wei family seemed to know that Ning Cheng couldn't jump to the sky, so they also sat down. "Answer what I just said." The Tao Essence Divine Emperor of the Wei family didn't seem to have much patience. After sitting down, his tone turned a little harsh. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept towards Gong Yangdi and saw him hurriedly walking into the Divine Thunder House. Then he spoke unhurriedly, "I want to ask, why does your Wei family want to oppose me? Isn't your Wei family afraid of extinction?" This Tao Essence Divine Emperor truly felt shocked by Ning Cheng's words. But he quickly reacted. No matter how strong Ning Cheng's background was, Ning Cheng was someone he could trample on in this place. Slap. This Tao Essence Divine Emperor slapped the tea table in front of him to pieces. "What courage! Do you think that I, Wei Qi, can't do anything to you in this Divine Thunder House? Believe it or not, even if I kill you, I'll just have to apologize to the Divine Thunder House." Ning Cheng replied calmly, "I don't believe it." Wei Qi suddenly stood up. But before he could do anything, a cold voice arrived. "Not to mention you, Wei Qi, even your Wei family can't do anything to Brother Ning. Gong Yangdi felt happy in his heart. The Wei family only had 2 Dao Essence Divine Emperors, and both were ordinary early-stage Dao Essence Divine Emperors. Moreover, they were ordinary early-stage Dao Essence Divine Emperors. He also knew about this Wei Qi. Usually he would greet him politely when they met. He didn't expect this fellow to be so rude to Pill Sage Ning. It was simply giving him a favor. In front of the Grand Essence Ruins public square, the Wei family was nothing. As long as he forced the Wei family to retreat, Ning Qing would owe him a favor. Brother Gong. Wei Qi immediately recognized Gong Yangdi at the door and stood up with a look of surprise. He could act arrogant in front of Ning Qing, but he didn't dare to act arrogant in front of Gong Yangdi. Gong Yangdi ignored him and only looked at the pile of debris in front of him. He chuckled, Taoist Wei really has a bad temper. Once you are angry, you smash the things in Brother Ning's house. Good skill, good skill. Wei Qi's heart sank. He naturally knew about Gong Yangdi's shrewdness. This person would never offend Wei Qi for no reason. Could it be that something had happened during the time he was away? He subconsciously looked at Ning Qing. Ning Qing only had a Dao sculpting holy emperor cultivation. How could he call Gong Yangdi a brother? Qi Shizengxing and Lu Fanglin, who stood on the side, had their mouths wide open. No wonder Ning Qing didn't fear the Wei family and even dared to let Wei Qi in. It turned out that he knew Gong Yangdi of the Grand Essence Ruins public square. Who was Gong Yangdi? He was the deacon of the Grand Essence Ruins public square. Brother Gong, I didn't know that Ning Qing knew you. But because he took away my Wei clan's Wei He's Dao companion, I chased him all the way here to ask for justice. No matter what the relationship between Ning Qing and Gong Yangdi was, Wei Qi decided to grasp the truth first. Ning Qing chuckled and spoke, Oh, then who do you think the person I abducted is? It's her. She's Wei He's Dao companion, but you took her away. That's why we came here. Wei Jingbing pointed to Lu Fanglin next to Ning Qing. Bullshit. Lu Fanglin suddenly stood up and pointed at Wei Jingbing with a blue face. Your Wei clan is a bunch of beasts, shameless things. My husband is Tu Qinfei of the Heavenly Dipper Pill sect. Your Wei clan and the Heavenly Dipper Pill sect secretly killed Tu Qinfei and then forced me to marry into the Wei clan. Shameless beasts. Qi Shizengxing, who stood on the side, suddenly spoke up, Wei clan is indeed a bunch of beasts. Wei He, one day in the future, I will peel off your skin and seek justice for my sister. Wei He's face turned green, but he kept his mouth shut, not saying a single word. Wei Qi was overflowing with killing intent, but he did not dare to make a move. If Gong Yangdi was not here, he would have attacked long ago. Now that Gong Yangdi was here, he did not dare to move. Sensing Wei Qi's killing intent, Gong Yangdi frowned slightly. He really wanted to make friends with Ning Qing, and this was an opportunity for him to do so. However, he did not want to directly start a fight with the Wei clan. It would be best if he could scare off Wei Qi. At this moment, a voice rang out from the door of Ning Cheng's room. Pill Sage Ning, long time no see. Void Star Sect's Wu Buffing has come to visit. There were 3 people standing at the door. They were Percy, the black-faced sect master of the Void Star Sect, Wu Buffing, and the skeleton-like man. No seal? Not only was Wei Qi stunned, even Gong Yangdi was slightly shocked. Gong Yangdi only knew that Ning Cheng was a Dao Essence Pill Saint. But because he had always been in the Grand Essence Ruins, he didn't know much about the Void Star Sect's pill request. Who was Wu Buffing? The sect master of the mysterious Void Star Sect was a primordial chaos expert. Why would such an expert come to visit Ning Cheng? Gong Yangdi also recalled that Ning Cheng was a Dao Essence Pill Saint. Although he felt shocked, he could understand it. However, Wei Qi and the others didn't understand. At this moment, Wei Qi not only felt shocked, but also felt endless fear. A primordial chaos expert could destroy Zhan Binya's Wei clan with just a wave of his hand. What made Wu Buffing feel relieved was that Ning Cheng's attitude was much better than it was during the pill discussion Grand Assembly. After seeing the 3 of them, Ning Cheng quickly stood up and spoke with a smile on his face. So it's Sect Master Wu. Please come in. The Wu Buffing trio naturally saw the broken tea table in front of Wei Qi. However, they also came to visit Ning Cheng and didn't know what happened here. As such, they couldn't speak carelessly. Wei Qi finally sobered up and quickly bowed to Wu Buffing. He then cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng and said, "Pil Sage Ning, since you have a guest today, we won't disturb you. Do you want to visit another day?" Ning Cheng spoke with an indifferent tone. Cold sweat oozed out of Wei Qi's forehead. "I don't dare, I don't dare." When he heard Wu Buffing address Ning Cheng as Pil Sage, he had a vague guess in his heart. Therefore, he wanted to go out and investigate Ning Cheng thoroughly. Ning Cheng chuckled, "Don't dare?" "Pa." Ning Cheng suddenly became angry and smashed the tea table in front of him. "I think you, Wei Qi, are quite daring." Wei Qi felt a chill in his heart. Ning Cheng dared to smash the table in front of the Void Star Sect's sect master and Gong Yangdi, which showed how much confidence he had. "Pil Sage Ning, I apologize to you." Wei Qi didn't ask for any reason and just bowed his head and admitted his mistake. Ning Cheng acted as if he didn't see it and still spoke. "You came to snatch a beauty from me and damaged my top-grade artifact. What's the use of apologizing? Do you want me to raise your Wei clan to the ground and then go to your grave to apologize?" Chapter 1007. Because Ning Cheng didn't ask for help, the three people from the Void Star sect sat in their seats and didn't speak much. "What do you want?" Wei Qi asked with a gloomy tone. Ning Cheng's gaze swept to the tea table that Wei Qi had just smashed and calmly spoke up. "Your Wei clan didn't succeed in snatching a beauty, so I won't pursue it. As I said just now, this tea table is one of my best treasures. You damaged my transcendent artifact. What do you think I want to do? I happen to have half a high-grade spirit vein, so I'll use it as compensation for you." An ordinary jade tea table turned out to be a top-grade weapon. Wei Qi didn't want to stay here and talk nonsense. He just wanted to leave as soon as possible. If he could, he would have slapped Wei Jingbing to death. If it weren't for this idiot, he wouldn't have treated Ning Cheng as a rogue cultivator. Even if he had to come here, he would have investigated thoroughly. Half a high-grade spirit vein for a broken tea table, he almost vomited blood. Ning Cheng spoke up lightly, "I don't have any objections to the price, but you damaged 2 tea tables. Do you think you can just compensate me with one?" "Ning Cheng, don't go too far." Wei Jingbing knew that he was finished. After this incident, the Wei clan would never find a way to detoxify him. At this time, he could only hold on to the broken jar and shout angrily. Ning Cheng hadn't spoken yet when Qi Shizingsing, sitting on the side, spoke up. "So what if I bully your Wei clan?" "If it weren't for your Wei clan, would Ning Cheng have smashed the tea table in anger? Naturally, your Wei clan will bear this debt." Shizingsing is right. That's the truth. Ning Cheng gave a thumbs up and praised him. Wei Jingbing wanted to speak, but Wei Qi reached out and stopped him. With a calm face, he took out a ring and threw it to Ning Cheng. "This is a high-grade spirit vein. Can we go now?" "Seeing your sincerity in compensation, I won't argue with you. However, you sure have a lot of high-grade god spiritual veins. Just a moment ago, you only had half a vein. Now, you suddenly have another one." Ning Cheng confirmed that there was a high-grade god spiritual vein in the ring and spoke in a sarcastic tone. Wei Qi didn't say a word, he just cupped his fists towards Gong Yangdi and Wu Buffing, turned around and left quickly. After the several people from the Wei clan left, Ning Cheng turned to Wu Buffing and the others and cupped his fists before speaking. A few bad guests disturbed everyone's mood. Now there are no outsiders here. After saying that, Ning Cheng waved his hand and activated the restriction at the door of the room. He then took out some spiritual tea and asked Lu Fonglin to serve it to the guests. Gong Yangdi also felt shocked in his heart. He had never expected that Ning Cheng would be acquainted with the sect master of the Void Star sect. Moreover, the sect master had even taken the initiative to visit him. At this moment, he also felt somewhat restrained. However, since he wanted to make friends with Ning Cheng, he decided to take the initiative to speak up. That Wei clan really doesn't know what they are talking about. I don't know where they got the confidence to even slap the table in Pil Sage Ning's room. Ning Cheng gave a smile. that Wei Jingbing was poisoned by the tattooed bone poison and wanted to ask me to help him detoxify it. However, I wasn't in the mood to help him. That old man got angry and started smashing things around my room. At least the Wei family was reasonable enough to compensate for my tea table. Percy and the others were speechless. You don't own this tea table, do you? A high-grade spirit vein compensating for 2 tea tables. Even the top 10 sects couldn't talk about this kind of thing often. Bauer Flute didn't know why Wei Qi got angry, but he still felt a bit surprised that Wei Qi wanted Ning Cheng to help him detoxify the tattooed bone poison. But then again, if Ning Cheng couldn't detoxify this poison in the Grand Essence realm, no one else could. Pill-Seeking Association's association heads Si Qin and Qiu Tian? Don't joke around. Qi Shixingsing and Lu Fonglin looked at Ning Cheng speechlessly. Wei Qi came here to teach him a lesson. When did he come here to ask Ning Cheng for help? Wu Buffing still had a black face as he cupped his fists and said, Pill Sage Ning, because my Void Star sect only has 1 set of herbs for the sky-replenishing bone pill, I chose it carefully. Here, I would like to apologize to Pill Sage Ning. Today, we came here for the same purpose as them. We want to ask Pill Sage Ning for pills. Of course, my Void Star sect doesn't dare to force Pill Sage Ning. It's all up to Pill Sage Ning. If Pill Sage Ning still doesn't want to help us with alchemy, we will leave immediately. Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. If I don't help you with alchemy, you want to leave immediately? Don't lie to me. I'm afraid that even if the sheep archer flute was here, you might still take me away by force. Ning Cheng saw this very clearly. If he really didn't want to help with alchemy, he wouldn't have stayed here to wait for the people from Void Star sect. Although Ning Cheng intended to help with alchemy, he still felt a little upset in his heart. His strength was too low. If he was strong enough, he wouldn't have to fear Wu Bufeng's threat. Refine the sky-replenishing bone pill? Lu Fonglin looked at Ning Cheng in disbelief. She finally understood why Ning Cheng said that if she stayed in the Grand Essence Ruins public square, he might have a chance to detoxify her. It turned out that Ning Cheng had already calculated that the Void Star sect would come to him for alchemy. The Void Star sect was a mysterious sect on par with the top 10 sections. It wasn't surprising that they could find the herbs for the sky-replenishing bone pill. But what was strange was that Ning Cheng was a pill sage. How dare he take over the task of refining the sky-replenishing bone pill? Didn't Ning Cheng know that once he failed, he would die directly? Ning Cheng made a very embarrassed look and pondered for a while before speaking. For Sect Master Wu's sake, I naturally can't refuse this favor. It's just that refining the sky-replenishing bone pill would consume too much energy. I'm afraid. Wu Buffing sneered. Consume my ass. Don't you just want benefits? Pill Sage Ning, if you can help my Void Star sect refine this furnace of sky-replenishing bone pill, we only want 1/3 of the medicinal pills. In addition, my Void Star sect is willing to take out 2 high-grade spirit veins and become Pill Sage Ning's best ally. Wu Buffing directly stated the actual conditions. Ning Cheng didn't take Wu Bufeng's words to heart at all. It would be strange if he could become the best ally with such an exchange of benefits. Unless the Void Star sect sincerely asked him to refine the pill from the beginning, and he didn't ask for any reward, anything else would be empty. Compared to the arbitrary conditions he put forward, Ning Cheng was more satisfied with Wu Bufeng's words. He could sense that the skeletal man the Void Star sect wanted to detoxify was not simple. If he helped refine the antidote and asked for more benefits, he would most likely be silenced. Thinking of this, Ning Cheng deliberately gritted his teeth and said, Okay, I'll go all out. I'll help you refine this furnace of sky-replenishing bone pill. In front of a Dao Fusion Holy Emperor, Lu Fonglin didn't dare to send a sound transmission to Ning Cheng. She could only keep looking at Ning Cheng, hoping that Ning Cheng would understand her meaning. She wanted Ning Cheng to say that if the refinement failed, it would be because both parties were willing. The Void Star sect couldn't force Ning Cheng to take responsibility for it. Ning Cheng acted as if he didn't see Lu Fonglin's gaze. He directly brought out the furnace and said, Sect Master Wu, take out the herbs. He understood what Lu Fonglin meant. In fact, he knew that even if Wu Buffing agreed to his request, it was just nonsense. Once he failed, he could only wait for death. It didn't make any sense to ask for Wu Bufeng's promise. Seeing that Ning Qing didn't mention what would happen if the refinement failed, Wu Bufeng showed a look of appreciation. Ning Qing really had some skills to become a Dao Essence pill sage. But when he saw Ning Qing take out the pill furnace and ask him to take out the herbs for the sky-replenishing bone trace pill, he immediately asked, "Pill Sage Ning, are you going to concoct pills here?" Naturally. After Ning Qing answered, he didn't speak anymore. He chose to concoct pills in front of everyone's eyes, so he naturally had his own purpose. Wu Bufeng raised his hand and took out a ring and placed it in Ning Cheng's hand. Pill Sage Ning, these are the herbs for the sky-replenishing bone trace pill. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness fell into the ring. Sure enough, there were 100 to 200 kinds of divine grasses inside. Each one was protected by restrictions and stored very well. He quickly found the main ingredients for the sky-replenishing bone trace pill. They were the void-breaking firmament fruit, silk-sifting silver phoenix grass, wonder heartwood sprout, and void dewdrops. Among them, the void-breaking firmament fruit was a Dao transformation Dao fruit, while the silk-sifting silver phoenix grass and wonder heartwood sprout were all law attribute divine grasses. If the void-breaking firmament fruit and silk-sifting silver phoenix grass were extremely difficult to find, then the wonder heartwood sprout was even more difficult. However, the most difficult thing to find wasn't the nomological Dao fruits or divine grasses, but the void dewdrops that didn't have any laws. Void dewdrops only existed in the void. Not only were there very few of them, but they would also dissipate very quickly. In other words, once a void dewdrop appeared in the void, if one didn't collect it in time, the void dewdrop would disappear in a moment. Void dewdrops could not only be used in the sky-replenishing bone trace pill but also in many detoxification pills. Moreover, it was a treasure for refining top-grade healing pills, something that could only be found but not sought. Wu Bufeng had given him 6 drops of void dewdrops, which showed how much effort the Void Star sect had put into this pill. Refining the sky-replenishing bone trace pill generally required 3 to 4 drops of void dewdrops. To ensure the success of the pill, Ning Qing decided to use 4 drops. As for the other 2 drops, he would naturally keep them for himself. After checking that he didn't lack any divine grasses, Ning Qing put up a simple spiritual consciousness shielding restriction and directly brought out the nameless flame. Seeing Ning Qing start to put the divine grasses into the furnace, no one dared to speak. They all nervously stared at Ning Qing, who was inside the restriction. Lu Fenglin's heart pounded even harder. Ning Qing actually dared to refine the sky-replenishing bone trace pill. One had to know that even Si Qin and Qiu Tian wouldn't dare to refine such a Dao pill. Thinking of how she had said in front of Ning Qing that she was a Dao-raising pill deity and asked Ning Qing to look for her if he needed any help in refining pills, Lu Fenglin felt even more embarrassed. At the same time, she also thought that if Ning Qing succeeded in refining the pill, it would mean that she could also detoxify the poison. This complicated thought made her unable to stop her heartbeat. Wu Bufeng apparently also heard Lu Fenglin's heartbeat and immediately stared at Lu Fenglin with dissatisfaction. Only then did Lu Fenglin wake up. Not only was there a Dao Essence Holy Emperor here, but there was also a Chaos Essence Holy Emperor. She forcibly suppressed her excitement and focused on watching Ning Qing refine the pill. Chapter 1008. One by one, Ning Qing threw the divine grasses into the furnace. Ning Qing remained very careful while refining this furnace of medicinal pills. It was related to his life. No matter how difficult it was to refine a Dao transformation Dao pill, there was still a huge gap between the primordial Dao pill and the Dao transformation Dao pill. Ning Qing had once refined a furnace of 6 Yin Soul pills. Even if this furnace of medicinal pills was refined with the help of the bestowing lawless fruit, his experience in the Tao of alchemy couldn't be erased. Ning Qing had refined many furnaces of Tao transformation pills, but the sky-extending mark bone pill was very difficult to refine. However, Ning Qing already had the experience of refining the 6 Yin Soul pill. As such, he did not feel that refining the heaven-extending bone vein pill was too difficult. Coupled with Ning Cheng's deeper understanding of the returning to one Dao and the integration of the returning to one Dao into the alchemy Dao, his understanding of Dao pills was far beyond that of ordinary Dao transformation alchemy saints. Si Chen Qiu Tian was right about one thing. The pill Dao was also a type of Dao. If you want to become the best alchemy sage, then your Dao must be able to explain the alchemy Dao. Without the interpretation of one's own great Dao, the Dao of alchemy could only be like what Si Chen and Qiu Tian said, a small Dao of alchemy. Regarding this point, Ning Cheng's understanding was perhaps even deeper than Si Chen and Qiu Tian. Because he cultivated the returning to one Dao, even Si Chen and Qiu Tian had to admit that Ning Cheng's grand Dao was much stronger than his. Hundreds of kinds of divine grasses melted in the furnace. After refining away the impurities, the essences fused together and tempered them repeatedly under Ning Cheng's alchemy Dao charm. Just as Ning Cheng said, he did not use any pill techniques at this time. There were only Dao rhymes. His Dao rhymes were different at every moment. The firmament-splitting fruit integrated into the furnace, and the laws condensed. The silk-silver phoenix grass melted into the furnace, and the laws condensed. The wonder heart tree sprout fused with the cauldron. The medicinal liquid essence condensed, the natural laws condensed, everything returning to one. Whether it was the Dao fruit laws of the void-splitting heaven-reaching fruit, or the spiritual grass laws of the silk gauze silver phoenix grass and the strange heartwood tree bud, Ning Cheng had completely integrated them into the medicinal pill laws. The Dao runes on the pill furnace had completely formed a pill rune space. The pill furnace in this space kept emitting clear sounds. From the beginning to the end, Ning Cheng's Dao fruit laws had never collapsed, nor had he been unable to control the condensation of the laws. Under his return to one Dao runes, everything seemed perfect. Outside the restriction, even the skeletal man nervously stared at Ning Cheng and the pill furnace. He could feel the rich pill charm coming from the pill furnace, knowing that the denser this pill charm was, the higher Ning Cheng's chances of success would be. However, he still felt somewhat uneasy in his heart. This could even be said to be his only chance. If Ning Cheng failed in his alchemy, then he would not be able to find such a batch of herbs. Even if he found such a furnace of medicinal ingredients, where would he go to find an alchemist to refine pills? Ning Cheng's alchemy had failed. Although the Void Star sect could kill Ning Cheng, it would not help the situation at all and would only increase the number of enemies. One had to know that Ning Cheng was a primordial Dao alchemy saint of the Pill Association. Any sect that wanted to kill him would have to consider the consequences. Lu Fanglin had long since immersed herself in the pill charm of Ning Cheng's alchemy. She was a Dao-nourishing pill deity. Facing this pill charm, she felt like a thirsty traveler in a desert encountering a sweet rain. She constantly sucked in this sweet rain. Half a day later, Ning Cheng suddenly started tapping on the pill furnace. At this moment, even Wu Buffing stood up in excitement. Everyone knew that Ning Cheng was about to finish the pill. The sky-extending bone vein pill was pale yellow in color, but it didn't have any smell. Because of this, no one knew whether Ning Cheng's pill was a success or a failure. 6 pale yellow shadows finally flew out of the furnace and landed on a jade plate suspended not far from Ning Cheng. A crisp tinkling sound rang out, just like a celestial melody, which intoxicated everyone. Since the pill was out of the furnace, Ning Cheng most likely succeeded in refining it. Ning Cheng patted away the restrictions and came out with a weary look on his face. Fortunately, I didn't fail. Unfortunately, I only managed to refine half of the pill. Ning Cheng naturally didn't manage to refine half of the pill. The furnace was his weapon, and he had hidden 6 top-quality sky-extending bone vein pills in the center of the furnace. No one here knew about it. This was also the reason why he wanted to refine pills in front of everyone. That is, to tell the Void Star sect's Wu Buffing. I really only refined 6 medicinal pills, and I didn't hide any of them. All of them are here. How could Wu Buffing care about Ning Cheng saying that he only refined 6 sky-extending bone vein pills? He eagerly grabbed the jade plate in Ning Cheng's hand and stared at the 6 medicinal pills on the jade plate. His spiritual consciousness had already carefully examined the 6 medicinal pills. 6 sky-extending bone vein pills, 3 top quality and 3 top quality. After a while, he excitedly put the jade plate in front of the skeletal man. Ancestor Kong, this is the sky extending bone vein pill. The skeletal man called Ancestor Kang's face also turned a little red, but he looked a lot calmer than Wu Buffing. After looking at the jade plate for a while, he took out a top-quality sky-extending bone vein pill and put it in his mouth. At this moment, all the people were staring at the skeletal man called Ancestor Kong. Ning Cheng did not speak. Even if Wu Buffing did not keep his promise and put away all 6 medicinal pills, he would not speak a single word of nonsense. What could he do if someone was stronger than him? After just the time it took for an incense stick to burn, a black chi rose from the top of the skeletal man's head. Wu Buffing saw the opportunity and set up a hindering restriction to trap the skeletal man within. After a while, drops of black water slid down the skeletal man's body and was finally collected by him into a bottle made of unknown materials. An unbearable smell spread out, and the skeletal man's face turned paler and paler, while the flesh on his body also increased. A vast and terrifying aura rose from his body. Not to mention Ning Cheng, even Gong Yangdi, who was standing on the side, felt terrified. Gong Yangdi soon guessed something and his face turned pale. He did not expect the Void Star sect to have another Dao integration expert. This Dao integration expert had been poisoned by the bone vein poison, but Ning Cheng had saved him. There were not more than a handful of Dao integration experts in the entire Grand Essence realm, but the Void Star sect had one. Once this news spread, it would be too shocking. Was this the aura of a Dao integration expert? Ning Cheng also understood the skeletal man's cultivation, and he was secretly horrified. He knew that the skeletal man was strong, but he did not expect him to be this strong. No wonder the Void Star sect had worked so hard to detoxify him. What puzzled Ning Cheng was that since the skeletal man was a Dao integration expert, who could be so powerful? Who could poison a Dao integration expert? The skeletal man's aura grew stronger and stronger, and soon, the entire Grand Essence ruins could feel this powerful aura. However, the skyrocketing aura didn't stop there. Instead, it continued to spread wildly. Another hour passed. Not only the Grand Essence ruins, but even the Grand Essence domain also felt this powerful aura. Many people immediately rushed towards the Grand Essence ruins. In just a short time, the Grand Essence ruins Divine Thunder House was surrounded by the Grand Essence realm's powerhouses. There were many powerhouses here, but no one dared to enter the Divine Thunder House. This aura clearly belonged to a Dao integration expert. Who would dare to offend a Dao integration expert in the Divine Thunder House without permission? Another 2 hours later, the skeletal man waved his hand, and the next moment, the restrictions around him disappeared without a trace. Even the skyrocketing aura also dissipated. When Ning Cheng and the others saw him, he had already changed his clothes. Not only that, but he no longer looked like a thin skeleton and looked no different from an ordinary cultivator. Ning Cheng even had to rub his eyes. It wasn't because this Dao integration holy emperor called Ancestor Kong had restored his cultivation, but because the other party was right in front of him, yet he couldn't see him. It was as if he had merged with the void, making it impossible for Ning Cheng to catch him. When he returned to his senses, the person in front of him was still an ordinary cultivator. Ning Cheng sucked in a breath of cold air. Dao integration so strong. Pill Sage Ning, many thanks to you this time. You can take away your medicinal pill and detoxify your friend. Speaking of which, I also benefited from your friend's help. Ancestor Kong looked at Ning Cheng and said calmly. Ning Cheng felt shocked. He understood what this Ancestor Kong from the Void Star sect meant. The reason why he refined the sky-replenishing bone vein pill for him was because he wanted to detoxify Lu Fonglin. Obviously, Ancestor Kong had also seen through Lu Fonglin's poisoning. Many thanks for Senior's magnanimity. Since the other party understood his actions, Ning Cheng didn't need to continue hiding it. Hiding something in front of a Dao integration holy emperor was simply an idiotic act. Fortunately, he had already put away his furnace. Otherwise, he didn't know if this guy could see the 6 special-grade sky-replenishing bone vein pills in the furnace. Ancestor Kong, have you really recovered? Wu Buffing was still excited. The Void Star Sect's Tao Integration Holy Emperor had finally returned. Ancestor Kong nodded. His strength was far from recovering, and he needed to return to the sect for seclusion. However, it wasn't convenient to talk about it here. Seeing Ancestor Kong nod, Wu Buffing suppressed the excitement in his heart. He took out a jade bottle and put away 2 special-grade Sky Replenishing Bone Vein pills and 1 high-grade Sky Replenishing Bone Vein pill. There were a total of 5 medicinal pills in the jade plate. According to the previous distribution plan, he could only take 1 more at most. However, Wu Buffing seemed to have forgotten about the previous distribution plan. After putting away 3 medicinal pills, he said, "Pill Sage Ning, because we don't know the effects of the Sky Replenishing Bone Vein pill, we will lend you 2 medicinal pills for now. I will return them to you after confirming that there are no problems with the medicinal pills." Ning Qing sneered in his heart. Sure enough. When Wu Buffing said that he wanted 1/3 of the medicinal pills, he guessed that this person would turn hostile. Now it seemed that he hadn't wrongly accused this black tortoise. Lend him 2 medicinal pills? Even an idiot knew that Wu Buffing wouldn't return the 2 medicinal pills. Ning Qing put away the 2 high-grade Sky Replenishing Bone Vein pills and said calmly, "Since Sect Master Wu wants to borrow the pills, then it's naturally up to Sect Master Wu. I believe that Sect Master Wu will return them in the future. However, we also talked about the remuneration of 2 high-grade God Spiritual Veins. I don't know if Sect Master Wu can give them to me together." Wu Buffing not only accepted more Sky Replenishing Bone Vein pills, but he also pretended to not take out the high-grade God Spiritual Veins. Ning Qing decided to take the initiative. He had just sculpted his Tao, and high-grade God Spiritual Veins were very important to him. Chapter 1009. Wu Buffing nodded. That's right. There are indeed 2 high-grade Divine Spiritual Veins. Because he came out in a hurry, he didn't bring the God's Spiritual Vein with him. We can only trouble Pill Saint Ning to come with us to the Void Star Sect. In order not to let Pill Saint Ning travel in vain, my Void Star Sect will give Pill Saint Ning a surprise gift. Surprised you, old Mu, Ning Qing cursed in his heart. He could even guess that this surprise was the medicinal pill that had trapped him in the Void Star Sect for countless years. Ning Qing had already guessed that Wu Buffing was not a good person when he changed his mind at the last minute during the pill discussion assembly and did not allow him to refine pills. Because he did not believe in Wu Buffing's character, Ning Qing did not ask for an exorbitant price. Moreover, Wu Buffing was the one who proposed the remuneration for alchemy, and Ning Qing did not even ask for half a price. But he still didn't expect this guy to be so shameless. The Void Star Sect was also a large sect, so why would they have to go back to the sect to collect 2 high-rank spiritual veins? Who is he trying to fool? If Ning Qing did not care much about it before, then they could just do business together. When Wu Buffing refused to take out the spirit veins and even asked him to go to the Void Star Sect to collect them, Ning Qing felt a little worried. He really desired these 2 God spiritual veins. However, he would definitely not do something like losing his freedom or even his life. What Ning Qing was most worried about at this moment was that Wu Buffing would turn against him and directly kidnap him. He could only hope that Gong Yangdi's presence would scare the Void Star Sect a little. Thinking of this, he hurriedly showed a pleasantly surprised expression, cupped his fists and said, "Many thanks, Sect Master Wu. I have long heard of the Void Star Sect's reputation, but I never thought that I would be able to experience it." Saying that, Ning Qing looked at Lu Fanglin with some hesitation. When Lu Fanglin saw Ning Qing looking at her, her eyes suddenly turned red. "Ning Qing, I don't need you to care about me, you can go by yourself. In any case, I am a bitter person." Ning Qing quickly spoke up, "Don't be like this, Fanglin. I won't go to the Void Star Sect for now. I'll go to the Void Star Sect after I'm done with you, okay?" After saying that, Ning Qing did not wait for Lu Fanglin to speak and took the initiative to apologize to Wu Buffing. "Sect Master Wu, I'm really sorry. I have some urgent matters to attend to right now, and I will definitely make a trip to the Void Star Sect after I finish what I need to do." He secretly thanked Lu Fanglin in his heart. This woman was very smart. She knew that he didn't want to go and that he couldn't make things too awkward with Wu Buffing. Ning Cheng knew that refining this batch of medicinal pills for the Void Star sect would be risky, but the risks still exceeded his expectations. He had underestimated Wu Bufeng's shamelessness. At this moment, he even felt grateful to Wei Qi. If Wei Qi and company had not come, he would not have invited Gong Yangdi. Without the Bao Goat Flute, the Void Star sect might not be able to reason with him. At this moment, he could only hope that Wu Bufeng would be a little more fearful. The Void Star sect had a Tao Perfection Realm cultivator, but he couldn't dominate the Grand Essence Realm. At the very least, he was a primordial Tao Pill Saint. A trace of disappointment appeared on Wu Bufeng's face. With Gong Yangdi here, it would be inappropriate for him to make a move directly. It was true that Ancestor Tang's poison was detoxified, but to completely recover his vitality, he reckoned that he would need at least a few decades to a century. More importantly, Kong Zhu didn't say anything. Then I will wait for Pill Saint Ning at the Void Star sect. Wu Bufeng said with a smile, in the future, as long as Pill Saint Ning comes to the Grand Essence Sea's Su Meng Mountain Range, you can find my Void Star sect. I will remember Sect Master Wu's words. Ning Cheng said politely. He heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. Since Bufeng had said so, it meant that he would not use force. He didn't expect that a mysterious sect like the Void Star sect would be in the Grand Essence Sea. What kind of mountain range was there in the Grand Essence Sea? Everyone, please disperse. Don't gather here. Ancestor Tang suddenly said with a faint voice. The cultivators gathered outside the Divine Thunder Pavilion heard Ancestor Tang's voice clearly. No one dared to disobey his words and returned to where they came from. Even if they wanted to discuss, they could only do so in whispers. Brother Ning, goodbye. It was not until this time that Percy couldn't help but greet Ning Cheng. He knew that this greeting signified the end of his friendship with Ning Cheng. After the three people from the Void Star sect walked away, Gong Yangdi asked cautiously, Brother Ning, was that a Tao Perfection expert from the Void Star sect? Compared to the news of Ning Cheng refining the sky-replenishing bone vein pill, a Tao Perfection Holy Emperor shocked him even more. Ning Cheng nodded, it should be. At this time, he really wasn't in the mood to say anything. Gong Yangdi could feel that Ning Cheng was in a bad mood. Therefore, he casually said a few more words before saying goodbye. After sending Gong Yangdi away, Ning Cheng said to Lu Fonglin, Senior Apprentice Sister Lu, many thanks for this matter. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would have died. Lu Fonglin understood Ning Cheng's meaning and shook her head. I should be the one thanking you. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have chosen to stay here and help with alchemy. Lu Fonglin compared the previous events and guessed the general situation. Most likely, the Void Star sect looked for Ning Cheng for alchemy, but Ning Cheng refused. This time, Ning Cheng deliberately showed up, which allowed the Void Star sect to find this place again. No wonder this sect is called a mysterious sect. If the top 10 sects dared to do this, people would have already ganged up on them. Qi Shizingsing spoke with disdain. Ning Cheng waved his hand and didn't speak. He was like a child crossing the street with gold. It wasn't strange for the Void Star sect to have ideas about him. What's more, he had rejected the Void Star sect and even let them know that he didn't refine pills for the Void Star sect but for Lu Fonglin. After a while, Ning Cheng spoke up, what are your plans? Qi Shizingsing hesitated for a while before saying, I'm going to continue to the Grand Essence Ruins. I must find the spirit technique of the Grand Essence Spirit Thunder. Lu Fonglin bit her lip, I have something to do. When I'm done, I'll come to you for help. Ning Cheng understood what Lu Fonglin meant when she said, help. That is, help her check. But how could he be in the mood to think about why Lu Fonglin would come to him for help after she finished her matter? He just wanted to leave as soon as possible. Senior Apprentice Sister Lu, Shizingsing, let's exchange communication pearls. Then leave this place as soon as possible. We can't stay in the Grand Essence Ruins for a long time. Even if Senior Apprentice Sister Lu needs to find a separate place to cure her poison. Ning Cheng then handed the 2 detoxification pills in his hand to Lu Fonglin. These 2 pills are for you. On an airship bound for the Grand Essence Sea, Percy sat in a corner with an ugly expression. Sect Master burning the bridge after crossing the river. If he saw Ning Cheng again in the future, he would no longer have the face to call them friends. Wu Buffing glanced at Percy and said, "Percy, do you think I went too far?" Percy hesitated for a moment before standing up and bowing. "Sect Master, I think you should give those 2 spirit veins to Ning Cheng on the spot." Wu Buffing spoke up in a deep voice, "I have a purpose for not giving them to him, but—" Ancestor Kang's voice came in time. "You want to ask why I didn't let you take Ning Cheng away by force, right?" Wu Buffing spoke up with respect, "That Ning Cheng is a Tao Essence Pill Saint. Ancestor Kang, now that you've removed the tattoo bone poison, if another Tao Essence Pill Saint stands guard, then my Void Star sect." Although Wu Buffing wanted to take Ning Cheng away by force, he didn't dare to do so without Ancestor Kang's words. Primordius might be strong, but a Primordius was nothing in the Grand Essence realm. Wu Buffing didn't continue, but Ancestor Kang and Percy understood what he meant. Ancestor Kang sighed, "If that Ning Cheng really is a Tao Essence Pill Saint, then you can take him away. This risk is worth it for my Void Star sect. It's just that he's not a Tao Essence Pill Saint." Wu Buffing and Percy both exclaimed in surprise and looked at Ancestor Kang in puzzlement. They had seen it with their own eyes that Ning Cheng was a Tao Essence Pill Saint. Not only had they seen it with their own eyes, but even Pill Association Master Si Chin and Qiu Tian had acknowledged Ning Cheng as a Tao Essence Pill Saint and even issued him the golden qualification card of a Tao Essence Pill Saint. Why did Ancestor Kang say that Ning Cheng wasn't a Tao Essence Pill Saint? Ancestor Kang spoke up with a solemn tone, that Ning Cheng had been to the land of broken laws and must have encountered some amazing opportunities. Because when he was about to fail in refining the 16 soul pill, he took out the bestowing lawless fruit and added it to the pill furnace. Ancestor Kang. Wu Buffing felt even more surprised. Ancestor Kang was a Tao perfection expert, but at that time, Ancestor Kang had lost his cultivation. As such, Ancestor Kang's eyesight definitely couldn't compare to his. As if knowing what Wu Buffing wanted to say, Ancestor Kang shook his head. "I didn't see his actions, and I believe that Ning Cheng was confident that no one could see his actions. But I've seen the bestowing lawless fruit before. As soon as he took it out, I could feel its aura. When he was about to fail, he forcibly used the bestowing lawless fruit to retain the 16 soul pills laws." Percy didn't have much knowledge, but Wu Buffing clearly knew what the bestowing lawless fruit was. He immediately sucked in a breath of cold air. The 16 soul pill was indeed precious, but it couldn't compare to the bestowing lawless fruit. In the words of ordinary people, Ning Cheng had exchanged gold for soil. It was not only extravagant but also a bit too wasteful. If it's not because he's young and loves his face, then Ning Cheng must have some reason to participate in the 5 Realms pill competition. But one thing is certain. Ning Cheng is just a Tao transformation pill saint, not a primordial Tao pill saint. Even if he's a powerful Tao transformation pill saint, it wouldn't make my Void Star sect take risks for him. Ancestor Kang said with a calm voice. Ning Cheng didn't know that taking out the bestowing lawless fruit would save him from a calamity. "I always suspected that he had concealed part of the heaven replenishing bone pill. But I didn't expect that he wasn't a primordial Tao pill saint." Wu Buffing suddenly spoke up. Ning Cheng could refine the 16 soul pill and obtain a full pill. Moreover, refining the heaven replenishing bone pill, which was far inferior to the 16 soul pill, only produced 6 inferior Tao pills, which made him a little suspicious. Since it's a misunderstanding of Ning Cheng, let's return the 2 high-rank spirit veins to him. Percy quickly spoke up. Wu Buffing sneered, "Misunderstanding him? Do you think Ning Cheng is an idiot like you? Did he really sincerely want to refine pills for my Void Star sect? If it weren't for his woman suffering from the vein bone poison, would he have stayed in the Grand Essence ruins to help refine pills? Besides, how could he extort that spirit vein from the Wei clan? Wasn't it all because he borrowed my Void Star sect's name? What if Ning Cheng came to my Void Star sect after helping his Tao companion with her matters?" Percy felt that Ning Cheng sincerely wanted to make friends with him, which made him feel a knot in his heart. However, he didn't dare to say it out loud. Ning Cheng didn't want to help with alchemy. Who could he blame for that? When he needed help the most, our Void Star sect could have helped him, yet he refused. With Ning Cheng's character, It would have been strange if he took the initiative to help with alchemy. Wu Bufeng spoke up in a calm voice. If he really came, he would be a member of my Void Star sect. Chapter 10:10. Ning Cheng naturally wouldn't go to the Void Star sect. After separating from Lu Fanglin and Qi Shizingsing, he deliberately disguised himself as a middle-aged man and arrived at the Boundary Essence Spirit Sea City through the Grand Essence Ruins teleportation array. After arriving here, Ning Cheng did not call out Yan Ji, who was cultivating in the true spirit world. He followed the map given to him by Nalen Rushue and spent only a few days to find the hidden teleportation array on the edge of the Grand Essence Sea. The concealment array of the transmission array was very sophisticated. Ning Cheng had to admit that with his current means, he would not be able to arrange it. If Nalen Rushue hadn't told him about this place, then it would have been very difficult for him to find it alone. After Ning Cheng entered the concealment array, he saw a huge platform made of sea stone. The sea stone platform was protected by a powerful defensive array formation. Above the sea stone platform was obviously a transmission array. When Ning Cheng saw the traces of dismantling the transmission array, he realized that with his current attainments in the Tao of arrays, even if all the components of the transmission array were present, he would not be able to restore this transmission array. This Yan Ji and Nalen Rushue really dared to dream about it. Ning Cheng was sure that according to Yan Ji's thoughts, if she wanted to restore this transmission array, then even if she did not cultivate, and instead focused on researching array formations, it would still be impossible for her to do so without at least tens of thousands of years. Moreover, Yan Ji's aptitude in the Tao of arrays and her aptitude in cultivation were the same. Otherwise, even tens of thousands of years would not be enough. Ning Cheng also wanted to find the silver-haired woman from the Silver Dragon clan. However, he didn't know how she managed to reach the mysterious Yellow Starland. However, when he thought of his current situation, he gave up on this idea. The Silver Dragon clan was in the Grand Essence Sea, and he had offended the Barbarian Dragon clan. If Man Huishan didn't take action, who knew if someone else would take action against him? Besides, even if he returned to the 4 Grand Starry Skies through other means, what if he came back in the future? After all, he still had to represent the Grand Essence Realm in the 5 Realms Pill competition. After thinking about it again and again, Ning Cheng decided to stay in this transmission array, while at the same time studying array formations. In addition to the mysterious yellow beads wood origin, the 5 elements were basically complete. It could be said that even if Ning Cheng entered the mysterious yellow bead to cultivate, it would not be easy for others to perceive his mysterious yellow aura. Just in case, before entering the mysterious yellow bead, Ning Cheng arranged a shielding array formation and took out the drop of weak water to cover it. After Ning Cheng went into seclusion, the Grand Essence Realm became very lively. The news that the primordial Tao alchemy saint had refined the sky-replenishing patterned bone pill, had cured the patterned bone poison of the Tao Integration Sect's Tao Integration Sect expert, had suddenly gained another Tao Integration Sect expert, had spread like wildfire. The sudden rise of the mysterious Void Star sect made many sects wary, but at the same time, Ning Cheng's reputation grew even more resounding. The usefulness of a primordial Tao alchemy saint was demonstrated at this moment. Without a primordial Tao alchemy saint, who could save a cycle Tao expert? Some of the big sects who wanted Ning Cheng's help in alchemy started looking for Ning Cheng. But Ning Cheng seemed to have disappeared. Since refining the heaven-extending Mark Bone Pill for the Void Star sect in the Grand Essence Ruins, he had disappeared without a trace. Even the Star Stepping Tower's master and Heaven Essence Sacred City's Li Jieshing, who wanted to secretly search for Ning Cheng, had to give up after not receiving any news about Ning Cheng for a long time. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, a year had passed. Ning Cheng had successfully advanced to the middle stage Tao sculpting realm because of his epiphany on the Tao of returning to one during the Pill discussion conference. After advancing to the middle stage Tao sculpting realm, Ning Cheng concentrated on studying the Tao of arrays, and his attainment in the Tao of arrays rose from a beginner-level spirit array master to a middle-level spirit array master. To Ning Cheng's disappointment, even if he advanced to a middle-level spirit array master, it would still be too difficult to restore the components of the teleportation array. The higher his attainment in the Tao of Arrays, the more he could feel the complexity and power of this teleportation array. Ning Cheng estimated that even if he advanced to a top-grade spirit array master, it would still be difficult to restore this teleportation array. Moreover, if he wanted to advance to a top-grade spirit array master, he wouldn't be able to concentrate on studying the Tao of Arrays for a few decades. Ning Cheng sighed. He didn't know if he should continue studying it or not. There were only 2 years left before the 5 Realms Pill competition. According to this time, he wouldn't have the chance to return to the 4 grand starry skies. Ning Cheng, I'm going to come out to face the tribulation. While Ning Cheng was still struggling, Yan Ji's voice reached his ears. Yan Ji had reached the full circle of the life and death realm and was ready to advance to the eternal realm. Hearing that Yan Ji was about to advance, Ning Cheng felt overjoyed. He didn't expect Yan Ji to advance so quickly. But it seemed that after Yan Ji's qualifications improved several times in a row, and with the help of top-grade cultivation resources, her cultivation speed was even faster than he expected. Someone is facing tribulation in this place? 3 cultivators looking for resources on the edge of the Grand Essence Sea saw the lightning arcs of Yan Ji's tribulation and immediately rushed over. It's a female cultivator advancing to the eternal realm. The 3 cultivators who came over quickly felt Yan Ji's cultivation. Because Yan Ji's tribulation was too big of a target, and there was a pile of spirit crystals arranged into a spiritual gathering array, it attracted the attention of several people. However, they didn't care about Ning Cheng, who was guarding Yan Ji a little further away from the spiritual gathering array. These people only had eyes for the piles of spirit crystals at the place where Yan Ji was facing the tribulation. Even if they saw Ning Cheng on the side, none of them would care about him. The reason why Ning Cheng stayed far away from Yan Ji was that he feared that Yan Ji's thunder tribulation would grow stronger because of him. Yan Ji didn't have a thunder spiritual root. If the thunder tribulation grew stronger, she would most likely get seriously injured or even die in the thunder tribulation. Seeing these people rushing over with red eyes, how could Ning Cheng not understand what they meant? He raised his hand and shot out a few lightning arcs. His lightning arcs were quite simple. Although it couldn't deal with experts, it didn't take much effort to deal with a few eternal cultivators. Boom boom boom. 4 lightning arcs suddenly fell on the 3 eternal cultivators rushing over. The eternal cultivator, who bore 2 of the lightning arcs, died instantly. The other 2 were badly injured and were scared out of their wits. They immediately turned around and tried to escape. You guys have some guts. You even dared to rush up when you saw someone guarding you? Ning Cheng stepped in front of the 2 cultivators who wanted to escape. Senior, please spare our lives. We work for the Pill Union and accidentally offended Senior. We didn't mean to come here. The late-stage eternal cultivator saw Ning Cheng kill one of them and understood that Ning Cheng was a decisive person. Therefore, he quickly brought up the Pill Union. Ning Cheng sneered. Does the Pill Union want 2 eternal cultivators like you to work for? Is your face whiter than other people's butts? A burst of laughter came, and a moment later, a red figure landed not far from Ning Cheng. I don't know if these 2 people's faces are whiter than their butts, but they didn't lie. They really work for the Pill Union. The red figure wasn't because of the person's clothes, but because of his long hair. He had long red hair, and when he rushed over, he looked like a red shadow. Ning Cheng's eyes shrank slightly. He had seen this person before. When he first arrived in the Grand Essence Realm, he fell into the Grand Essence Sea. This red-haired man was the first person he saw when he arrived in the Grand Essence Realm. At that time, this red-haired man seemed to be chasing someone, and a single attack from him created a wave tens of thousands of feet high. It was truly amazing. Ning Cheng also almost died because of the shockwaves from the red-haired man's attack. He was an eternal cultivator, yet he almost died because of the shockwaves from someone else's battle. It truly felt depressing. Moreover, it was from a distance. If it were closer, Ning Cheng would have already turned into dust. Ning Cheng didn't expect to see this red-haired man again after so many years. Now that Ning Cheng saw it clearly, this person had a full circle Tao transformation realm cultivation. Most likely he was half-step into the second-step Tao Essence realm. Although he had discovered this person a moment ago, Ning Cheng still felt a little bit of fear in his heart. Because when Ning Cheng discovered this person was already very close to him. I seem to have seen you before. After the red-haired man saw Ning Cheng, he frowned and spoke up. Then he remembered, yes, I remember now. Many years ago, I was chasing a thin-horned flood dragon in this area, and you were in the sea. Why are you still alive? After remembering Ning Cheng, the red-haired man stared at Ning Cheng in surprise. Ning Cheng was just a puny eternal cultivator. If he fell into the Grand Essence Sea, he should have died a long time ago. But this red-haired man was a half-step Tao Essence realm cultivator. Ning Cheng didn't care too much about it. He was at the middle-stage Tao sculpting realm, and his cultivation was much stronger than the early-stage Tao sculpting realm. Ning Cheng could kill Ding Si, a top-grade Tao transformation expert, when he was at the early-stage Tao sculpting realm. Now that he was at the middle-stage Tao sculpting realm, he didn't fear this red-haired man. As long as he didn't step into the Tao Essence realm, he would only belong to the Tao transformation realm. Tao friend didn't die, so how can I die first? Ning Cheng replied with a calm tone. The red-haired man froze for a moment. He didn't expect Ning Cheng to dare speak to him in such a tone. But he quickly reacted. Not only did he not get angry, but he also laughed and said, "Good, impressive. In such a short time, you successfully advanced from the eternal realm to the Tao sculpting realm. You indeed have the confidence to say such words. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ba Meng, and I also have a nickname, Red Hair by the Sea. I didn't care about your life and death back then. It was my fault." Ning Cheng didn't expect this red-haired man to be so upright. His cultivation was clearly much higher than his own, but he still apologized to him. To be honest, in that situation he didn't care much about the red-haired man's actions. Why would a Tao transformation expert care about the life and death of a puny eternal cultivator who fell into the sea? Even now, Ba Meng's cultivation was much higher than his. Of course, Ning Cheng believed that Ba Meng didn't know about his actual combat strength. Because he didn't know about his strength, Ba Meng's apology seemed more sincere. Ning Cheng and Ba Meng didn't know each other. Therefore, he didn't think that Ba Meng would deliberately show goodwill to him. The two eternal cultivators who hadn't been killed felt terrified when they heard Ba Meng say that Ning Cheng was a Tao sculpting holy emperor. Now that the two heard Ba Meng say that he was red hair by the sea, they felt even colder. Both of them muttered to themselves, wondering if they didn't check the time before coming out. After Ba Meng finished, he didn't wait for Ning Cheng to speak. Instead, he pointed to the two eternal cultivators and said, they should be looking for divine grasses for Pil Union's Cheng Ho Tian. Cheng Ho Tian was poisoned by the tattoo bone poison, and Pil Union's association master Si Chen Chiu Tian wanted to refine the sky-extending tattoo bone pill to detoxify Cheng Ho Tian. However, he lacked a few divine grasses. Now, the entire Grand Essence realm is looking for these divine grasses. Therefore, when they said that they were working for the Pil Union, they weren't talking nonsense. Ning Cheng froze. Cheng Ho Tian was poisoned, and it was the tattoo bone poison? How could there be such a coincidence? Chapter 10-11. Ning Cheng quickly came to understand that there would definitely not be such a coincidence. Someone was definitely looking for him. Gong Yangdi knew that he could refine the cloud-replenishing pattern bone pill. Gong Yangdi felt that there was no need to hide this matter. Most likely, everyone knew about it now. Cheng Ho Tian was also his friend, and it just so happened that Cheng Ho Tian was poisoned by the tattoo bone poison. Even the eternal level cultivators at the edge of the Grand Essence knew about Cheng Ho Tian's poisoning. As long as he was still in the Grand Essence realm, he would definitely know about it. Cheng Ho Tian was his friend. What would he do if he knew about this? He would definitely go to the Elixir Association to look for Cheng Ho Tian so that he could help him refine the sky-replenishing bone vein pill. Ning Cheng estimated that after a period of time, the main materials for the heaven-extending vein bone pill would spread out and would be waiting for him to go back and refine the pill. Who's looking for him? No matter who was looking for him, there was one thing that Ning Cheng was sure of, that the person looking for him was definitely not someone with good intentions. Two seniors. This junior is working for the Pill Association and inadvertently offended the seniors. Please forgive us. The two eternal cultivators spoke while retreating. Ningqing raised his hand and shot out several lightning arcs. Whether it was because of these two people's intentions towards Yan Ji, or for his own safety, he had to kill these two people. As for this red-haired Dao transformation cultivator, Ningqing felt a little conflicted. He might not be able to kill the other party. Regarding Ningqing killing two eternal-level cultivators, Ba Meng didn't feel surprised at all. If someone had designs on his Dao companion, he would kill them without hesitation. After Ningqing put away the rings of several eternal cultivators, he looked at Ningqing with a smile and said, "Do you specialize in thunder-attributed cultivation?" Ningqing nodded. "I do not specialize in the thunder attribute, but I do have a thunder spiritual root." "All right, let's talk about a collaboration. If you accompany me to a place, I will give you a miracle crossing Dao fruit. How about it?" Ba Meng continued to speak with great anticipation. Ningqing felt a little speechless. Not to mention the miraculous crossing Dao fruit, he even had 1 or 2 bottles of miraculous crossing Dao pills in his ring. Du Qi Dao fruit was a Dao fruit that allowed Dao molding divine emperors to comprehend Dao nourishment divine emperors and increase their chances of reaching Dao nourishment divine emperors. This Dao fruit was indeed precious to other Dao molding divine emperors. For Ningqing, it was not much different from garbage. "I'm sorry, but my strength is limited, and I cannot go anywhere with this Dao friend." Ningqing did not hesitate to cup his fists and refuse. Ba Meng didn't seem to expect that Ningqing wouldn't even ask about the place and would directly reject it. He froze for a moment before speaking up. "Do you think that 1 crossing Qi Dao fruit isn't enough? How about this? You name your conditions." Ningqing spoke up apologetically. "My strength is limited, so I need to find a place to go into secluded cultivation." Ba Meng's gaze swept over Yan Ji, who was in the midst of transcending her tribulation. He pondered for a moment before saying, "What you said makes sense. How about this? I have a way to help you advance to the late-stage Dao sculpting realm in a short time." Ningqing sneered in his heart. He was a pill saint, not an idiot. Not to mention advancing to the late-stage Dao modeling in a short time, he could also advance to the Dao birth in a short time. However, this was all based on the premise of ignoring one's foundation and destroying the laws of the Grand Dao. He had the mysterious yellow bead and had a bright future ahead of him. How could he be so short-sighted? Not interested. Ningqing did not have the patience to slowly find a reason to refuse, and simply directly refused. After rejecting Ba Meng, Ningqing was ready to go all out against Ba Meng. Now that he had advanced to the middle stage Dao sculpting realm, as long as he laid out the proper arrangements, he would most likely be able to kill Ba Meng. But to Ningqing's surprise, Ba Meng did not plan to start. Instead, he took in a deep breath and spoke with a low tone. "Do you know about the Grand Essence Nether Realm?" Ningqing shook his head. He truly did not know about it. Ba Meng, on seeing that Ningqing did not know about it, simply explained, "After a cultivator falls, as long as their spirit soul does not perish, they can enter the reincarnation cycle. The Grand Essence Nether Realm is the passageway for cultivators' souls to enter the reincarnation cycle. Unfortunately, I heard that the reincarnation cycle in the Grand Essence Nether Realm has shattered." Wait. Ningqing suddenly thought of Sun Hanrui, who had not woken up yet. Sun Hanrui's soul regenerated very slowly, and he could not go back in a short time. He did not know if the Grand Essence Nether Realm Ba Meng mentioned had anything to do with the Graceful Star Mainland's Nether Realm. "Excuse me, do the souls of the Grand Essence Nether Realm enter after the people of the Grand Essence Realm die?" Ningqing saw Ba Meng looking at him and quickly asked. Ba Meng shook his head and said, "No, all the interfaces under the Grand Essence Realm, no matter high or low, as long as someone dies, their soul will enter the Grand Essence Nether Realm and enter the reincarnation cycle." "Then, what are the low-level interfaces under the Grand Essence Realm?" Ningqing asked even more nervously. Ba Meng looked at Ningqing in doubt for a while before explaining, These interfaces are as numerous as the hairs on an ox. Who knows how many there are? When the Grand Essence Realm's laws were perfected, cultivators from the low-level interfaces had to ascend if they wanted to enter the Grand Essence Realm. But now that the Grand Essence Realm's laws have shattered, it's not much better than those low-level starry skies. Many people can use talismans or even teleportation arrays to come and go. Ning Cheng suddenly felt a little excited. He increasingly felt that the 4 grand starry skies belonged to the low-level interfaces of the Grand Essence Realm, while the graceful star mainland belonged to the low-level interfaces under the 4 grand starry skies. From this, Ning Cheng understood that after Sun Hanrui died, her soul would also enter the Grand Essence Nether Realm. In addition to Sun Hanrui, there was also Yu Qing's delicate and pretty face suddenly appeared in Ning Cheng's mind. Maybe he could find Yu Qing's soul again. I have a friend, but she died decades ago. If I go with you, can I find her soul? Ning Cheng held back the excitement in his heart and spoke with a trembling voice. Ba Meng sighed and said, although I have to use your lightning arcs to get there, I have to tell you that you can't find her. But Ning Cheng blurted out. Ba Meng continued, even though the Grand Essence Nether Realm's laws have shattered, there are still powerhouses guarding it. We can only stay at the outermost periphery and can't go inside. Your friend died decades ago, and I'm afraid that she has already entered the cycle of reincarnation. Ning Cheng's expression suddenly turned dejected. After a moment of silence, he asked, then, can you find her soul if her corporeal body is intact but her soul is gone? Ba Meng nodded to Ning Cheng in a dignified manner, this is what I'm asking you for. I only have one son, but he was killed by an enemy. Fortunately, I managed to snatch his corporeal body. Now, I have kept his corporeal body for many years. This time, I finally managed to find a 9 nether boundary breaking talisman to enter the Grand Essence Nether Realm. Therefore, I want to ask you for a favor. I agreed because I still have a friend. After she died, only her corporeal body remained. Her soul could not be restored. Therefore, I want to go with you. I also want to find my friend's soul. Not waiting for Ba Meng to continue persuading, Ning Cheng spoke with certainty. Sun Hanrui had taken the 6 soul pill. Therefore, even if she only had a trace of her soul left in the Grand Essence Nether Realm, she would still be safe and sound. Good, then let's go to my place first. We can discuss how to do this. Ba Meng on hearing Ning Cheng's words felt overjoyed. After that, he turned to Ning Cheng and said, I still don't know your name. Ning Cheng did not hesitate this time and spoke the truth. My name is Ning Cheng. After this matter is over, I'm afraid that Brother Ba Meng will do me a small favor. After Ning Cheng finished, he kept an eye on Ba Meng's expression. When he found that Ba Meng's face didn't show any surprised expression, he realized that Ba Meng had stayed in the Grand Essence Sea and didn't know about the big things happening in the Grand Essence Realm. The reason why he knew that Cheng Hotian was poison was because there were too many people who came to the Grand Essence Sea to look for medicinal herbs. Ba Meng laughed. As long as we can cooperate successfully and save my son. No matter what it is, I will help. Ning Cheng didn't reveal that he was a pill sage, nor did he tell Ba Meng what kind of help he could offer. Although Ba Meng looked like a straightforward person, Ning Cheng didn't know much about him. He could only come to a conclusion after the two sides completed their cooperation. At this time, Yan Ji had already finished surmounting her tribulation. She put away all the spirit crystals and landed directly beside Ning Cheng. She then stared at Ba Meng with some caution. Junior apprentice Sister Ji, this is Dao friend Ba Meng. I want to cooperate with him to do something. You can go to the true spirit world to stabilize your cultivation first. Ning Cheng didn't explain about the dark nether realm. Yan Ji didn't ask anything and directly entered Ning Cheng's true spirit world. She had just advanced to the eternal realm and needed to consolidate her cultivation. If Ba Meng hadn't brought Ning Cheng here, Ning Cheng feared that he wouldn't have found this place in the Grand Essence Sea even if he searched for 10,000 years. Ba Meng lived in the depths of the Grand Essence Sea, and it was a place with very little spiritual qi. Apart from some sea demons, no one would come to this place. Cultivators with low cultivation wouldn't dare to come here. How could holy emperors with high cultivation care about such a place with little spiritual qi? Following Ba Meng into a natural concealment array formation, Ning Cheng secretly sighed after passing through 2 natural concealment array formations and a man-made defensive array formation. Even an array Dao powerhouse surpassing a high-level spirit array master couldn't arrange such a natural array formation. Even if he came to this place 100 times, he would only pass by it. Thinking about the concealment teleportation array he had secluded himself in, as well as the natural concealment array formations here, Ning Cheng could only sigh. There were just too many mysterious things in the Grand Essence Sea. Dao friend Ba Meng, this is a good place. Unfortunately, the spiritual qi here is a bit too thin. Before Ning Cheng could finish his words, he opened his mouth wide and looked around in disbelief. Because by the time he finished speaking, he had already stepped into the defensive array. At the same time, he felt an indescribably rich spiritual qi. If it were just rich, Ning Cheng wouldn't have cared about it. Ning Cheng was also a person who had seen the world. But what shocked him even more was that this rich spiritual qi contained complete laws of heaven and earth. In other words, even if one didn't cultivate, one's cultivation would continue to improve while sitting in this place. Good place, Ning Cheng exclaimed. He now understood why Ba Meng dared to say that he could advance to the late stage of speed in a short time. Ba Meng showed a smile. I found this place by chance. Come with me to another place first. Ning Cheng followed behind Ba Meng and felt the spiritual qi around him getting denser and denser, while the laws around him also became clearer. Ning Cheng thought to himself, it seems that if he had a chance, others would also have a chance. After half an incense stick worth of time, Ba Meng made a few hand seals and brought Ning Cheng to a huge pool surrounded by white mist. As soon as Ning Cheng saw this pool, he realized that all the spiritual qi outside came from this place. Instead of spiritual qi, this place was filled with dense spiritual laws and spiritual mist, which contained a powerful law aura. Ba Meng pointed to the mist-covered pool and said, this place is the Grand Essence Dragon Washing Pool, the first of the 5 pools in the Grand Essence Sea. The Sunken Fish Palace's Sunken Fish Ice Pool is nothing compared to this Dragon Washing Pool. When the Grand Essence Sea's laws were complete, the 5-clawed Divine Dragon clan lived here. I heard that once a 5-clawed divine dragon was born, it would wash in this dragon washing pool for 100 years. The 5-clawed divine dragons that came out of the dragon washing pool were even more powerful. Therefore, the 5-clawed divine dragon clan has always been powerful. Unfortunately, no matter how powerful they can't stop the passage of time. Chapter 10-12. What a great place. Ning Cheng looked at the dragon cleansing pool in amazement and couldn't wait to cultivate here for a few months. If he cultivated here, it wouldn't be impossible for him to reach the late-stage Dao sculpting realm in a short time. Moreover, not only would it not damage his foundation, but it would also bring great benefits to his foundation and potential. Brother Ba Meng, you brought me here, don't tell me. Ning Cheng pointed at the Grand Essence Dragon Cleansing Pool in confusion and couldn't believe it. If Ba Meng didn't want him to come here to cultivate, why did he bring him here? If this place belonged to him, he wouldn't lend it to others for cultivation. Ba Meng's expression turned solemn, and he looked at Ning Cheng with a serious expression. Dao friend Ning, there are very few thunder-attributed cultivators in the Grand Essence realm, and even fewer can reach the Dao-confirming realm. There are several powerful thunder-attributed holy emperors who come from big sections. They aren't people a rogue cultivator like me can invite. I'm really lucky to have met you. I only have one son. Since I want you to help me sincerely, I will help you sincerely. I believe that my eyes aren't blind, and I won't misjudge you. After that, he sighed, pointed to the Grand Essence Dragon Cleansing Pool and said, I've guarded this place for thousands of years. During these thousands of years, my cultivation has risen sharply, and I'm now a half-step Dao Essence cultivator. Unfortunately, the Dragon Cleansing Pool has limited use for me now. After I save my son, Ba Luo, I will stay here for a few decades. After a few decades, I will leave with Ba Luo. If you're interested, I can leave this Grand Essence Dragon Cleansing Pool to you. Ning Cheng understood that Ba Meng didn't have any fear of him coming here. Not to mention that his cultivation was only at the Tao sculpting realm, Ba Meng's strength far surpassed his. Of course, Ba Meng must have thought that Ba Meng was far stronger than him. Most people wouldn't be willing to tell others about this place just because Ba Meng would leave. There was one more thing. Just like what Ba Meng had said, he needed him to help him sincerely. Many thanks, Tao friend Ba Meng. Even without the Grand Essence Dragon Cleansing Pool, I would still help you. I will now cultivate here. Tao friend Ba Meng, you can go and prepare. Just let me know when you want to leave. After Ning Cheng heard the whole story, he straightforwardly agreed to Ba Meng's request. Although he knew that Ning Cheng would agree to it, but after Ning Cheng gave an affirmative answer, Ba Meng still spoke up in a happy voice. In that case, Tao friend Ning, you can stay here and cultivate. I still have to find 2 friends. This time, a total of 4 of us will enter the Grand Essence Netherworld. Your junior apprentice sister's cultivation is slightly lower. If your miniature world's laws are ordinary, you can let your junior apprentice sister stay in my mansion. Tao friend Ba Meng, you can go ahead and look for the others. I will stay here and cultivate. My junior apprentice sister will go with me. Ning Cheng directly refused. No matter how good this place was, he was not here, so how could he dare to leave Yanji here? Ba Meng also wanted to remind Ning Cheng about it, but since Ning Cheng refused, he naturally would not continue to talk about this matter. After Ba Meng left, Ning Cheng jumped into the dragon washing pool and started cultivating. If he missed such a good opportunity, then he deserved to not be able to improve his cultivation. Ning Cheng's mysterious yellow origin had extremely high requirements for resources from the outside world. Moreover, the spirit qi in the dragon washing pool not only contained no impurities, but it also contained rich laws of heaven and earth. With the help of the mysterious yellow origin, Ning Cheng felt a carefree feeling that he had never felt before. When he first cultivated in the extraterritorial spirit spring, he had thought that it was the best place for cultivation. But now, the extraterritorial spirit spring couldn't even compare to the dragon washing pool. As Ning Cheng absorbed the endless pure laws of spirit qi, more and more spirit qi started to pour into his body. If Ba Meng were here, his jaw would definitely drop. His cultivation caused a lot of commotion, but Ning Cheng's cultivation was dozens of times louder than his. Sitting in the dragon washing pool, Ning Cheng felt his entire corporeal body gradually fade away, leaving only his essence spirit. Without any hindrance from the corporeal body, the absorption effect of his cultivation soared even higher. The pure aura in the dragon washing pool continuously washed over Ning Cheng's body. Ning Cheng's body, which originally had no impurities, became even more spotless. His cultivation aura continued to rise and rise. Spirit essence flowed around Ning Cheng like a raging river. At the same time, Ning Cheng also swallowed the Empyrean consciousness transmutation pills. Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness and spirit essence continued to grow. As time passed, Ning Cheng couldn't even feel his corporeal body, let alone the passage of time. For most people, it would take hundreds of years to advance from the middle stage Tao sculpting to the late stage Tao sculpting, no matter how many cultivation resources one had. No matter how good one's aptitude or how many resources one had, it would still take dozens or even hundreds of years. Yet, in just a few months, he had already stepped into the late-stage Tao sculpting realm. From this, it could be seen how powerful the combination of the mysterious yellow origin aura and the dragon washing pool was under the effect of the mysterious yellow formless. After entering the late-stage Tao sculpting realm, Ning Cheng's cultivation speed finally slowed down due to the obstruction of his understanding of the Tao of returning to one. Ning Cheng knew that in addition to the obstruction of his understanding of the Tao, the special effect of the combination of the mysterious yellow origin and the dragon washing pool had also passed, causing it to enter a stable period. Even if it was a stable period, the progress of one's cultivation was much faster than using spirit crystals to cultivate. Constant ka sounds came from within his body, and Ning Cheng almost moaned out loud. This kind of cultivation really made him happy. Not knowing how much time had passed, Ning Cheng suddenly noticed that the bones in his body had begun to reorganize again, radiating with a new aura of laws. The mysterious yellow body forging method also began to run automatically and began to correct itself. Ning Cheng almost stood up from the dragon washing pool in shock. After his body forging cultivation method reached the full circle of the starry sky body, it had completely stopped because there was no further cultivation method. Did it want to correct his body forging cultivation method? At this moment, Ning Cheng couldn't care about the continuous improvement of his cultivation. Instead, he focused all his attention on the correction of the body forging cultivation method. Ning Cheng finally understood the origin and purpose of the dragon cleansing pool. The true meaning of the dragon washing pool was not for cultivation but for tempering one's body. No wonder the legendary five-clawed divine dragons were so powerful that their corporeal bodies could even tear through the void. It turned out that the dragon washing pool played a huge part in it. As Ning Cheng's body forging cultivation method continued to improve, Ning Cheng's body forging cultivation method progressed from full circle starry sky body to late stage starry sky body, and then to middle stage starry sky body. Ning Cheng's senses were not wrong. Although his body forging strength was declining, his physical strength was growing stronger and stronger. This meant that his previous body forging cultivation method was simply garbage. The reason why it was garbage was that it matched his corporeal body's skeleton, not because the mysterious yellow formless was garbage. Now that he had cleansed his body, bones, and even his meridians in the dragon cleansing pool, his body had become even stronger. Only a new body tempering cultivation technique was suitable for him. Because of this, as he continued to temper his body in the dragon cleansing pool, his body tempering level was declining instead. Kacha! Just like a mold solidifying, all the bones in Ning Cheng's body made a final kacha sound before finally stabilizing. At the same time, Ning Cheng's body forging rank dropped to the early stage starry sky body. At this time, Ning Cheng circulated the new body forging cultivation method without any scruples. His corporeal body grew stronger once again. Middle stage starry sky body, late stage, although he couldn't return to the full circle of his starry sky body, Ning Cheng felt satisfied. As long as he continued to find a place to temper his body, his corporeal body would surpass the starry sky body. Originally, Ning Cheng had no idea about the body forging ranks after the starry sky body. But now, he knew that beyond the starry sky body was the spirit body. This really was a good place. But unfortunately, Yanji's current strength was still too low and was unable to cultivate in this place. In the future, he must bring Yanji here for cultivation. It would be best if he could bring Rulin and Luofei here for cultivation. Just as Ning Cheng thought of this with a refreshed mind, he received a message from Ba Meng. Ba Meng asked him to meet up on an island 1,000,000 miles away. The dragon cleansing pool was Ba Meng's secret. Since he planned to give the dragon cleansing pool to Ning Cheng, he naturally couldn't bring anyone else in. Despite his reluctance, Ning Cheng still flew out of the dragon cleansing pool. After tidying up a bit, he left the dragon cleansing pool. For Ning Cheng, a distance of 1,000,000 miles didn't take much time. Ning Cheng hadn't even reached the island Ba Meng mentioned when his spiritual consciousness swept over and found Ba Meng talking to a man and a woman on the reef island. When Ba Meng saw Ning Cheng land on the island, he felt secretly shocked. He had only gone out for half a year, yet Ning Cheng's strength had advanced from middle-stage Dao sculpting to late-stage Dao sculpting. From this, he understood that Ning Cheng's cultivation qualifications far surpassed his. Dao friend Ning, these two are Grand Essence C's Green Lady Ji Mai Tao and Dao friend Qiu Yuani. Ba Meng introduced the man and woman to Ning Cheng with a smile. After the introductions, he turned to the two and said, "He's the Ning Cheng I mentioned to you. He cultivates a thunder-attributed cultivation." Ning Cheng had told Ba Meng that he didn't specialize in thunder-attributed cultivation. But since Ba Meng introduced him like this, Ning Cheng didn't explain. Qiu Yuani had black hair and a late-stage Dao transformation cultivation. He looked elegant and refined, but his eyes looked a bit erratic. Green Lady Ji Mai Tao had a petite figure, but her curves were proud and provocative. She exuded a seductive aura from head to toe. Seeing Ning Cheng's gaze sweep over, she deliberately made a seductive look at Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng sighed. He finally understood the difference between a chicken and a phoenix. Lu Fanglin's charm was completely natural. She didn't need to act pretentious to attract people. But this green lady, in addition to acting pretentious, was just pretentious. Ba Meng's friends all had their own characteristics. Green lady, your eyes usually grow on your forehead. Why are you so eager for a Dao sculpting cultivator today? Qiu Yuanyi chuckled and looked at Green Lady. Green Lady gave him a blank look but still looked at Ning Cheng and said, I feel that this Dao friend Ning is very pleasing to the eye. I want to get in touch with him. What's wrong? Can't I? After that, she took the initiative to say to Ning Cheng, there aren't many thunder-attributed experts now. In the Dark Nether realm, thunder-attributed attacks are the most important. We have to rely on you. When Green Lady saw him, her eyes flashed with a hint of eagerness. Ningcheng guessed that this Green Lady might have recognized him as Dao Essence Pill Sage Ningcheng. Ningcheng didn't care about it. After all, Green Lady was just a full-stage Dao transformation cultivator. If she wanted his help in alchemy, he could help her as long as the conditions were right. But if she wanted to hit on him, then she could only blame herself for being stupid. Ba Meng laughed. Since everyone is here, let's discuss it and get ready to set off. Chapter 10:13. Seeing Green Lady start to tease him again, Ning Cheng couldn't help but feel annoyed. He spoke up helplessly, Green Lady, if you want to ask me for help, then let's set the price clearly, just like the Void Star sect. But if it's something else, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. The surroundings were filled with gray gravel, without even the slightest bit of vitality or spirit chi. Apart from some spiritless souls drifting about in the surroundings, there wasn't even a soul that could move on its own. There was no water, no sky, and no living creatures. The whole world only had a monotonous gray, with some occasional grayish-white or grayish-black. Ba Meng didn't answer, but Qiu Yuanyi and Green Lady cupped their fists and said, Red-haired, we'll leave first. We'll meet here again in a month. The long passage seemed to have no end. Apart from the countless Yin souls around, there was also the endless Yin astral law power. Fortunately, this power had little effect on the few of them. After that, Ba Meng carefully moved forward again and said, there are thousands of such soul bridges in the grand essence Yin netherworld, but there is only one. Our cultivation is limited, so we can only stay outside the soul bridge. Don't cross the bridge. Once you cross the bridge, you will most likely die here. Here, his spiritual consciousness could move unimpeded. Unfortunately, no matter how far his spiritual consciousness swept, the scene he saw was the same. Ba Meng didn't continue and just shook his head. Obviously, Ba Meng thought that these two people couldn't find the 6 Yin fruit here. Apart from entering the Grand Essence Yin netherworld with the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman, he also had to help Ba Meng clear the Yin Qi in Ba Luo's soul. Among the 4, Ba Meng was the initiator and had a top-grade 9 nether boundary breaking talisman. Only he could open the passage to the dark nether world and enter. His main purpose was naturally to save his son, Ba Luo. If the soul stayed in the broken dark nether world for a long time, it would be covered with a layer of Yin nether chi. If this kind of bad luck was not cleared in time, even if Ba Luo woke up, he would be muddle-headed. In the best-case scenario, his cultivation aptitude would decline. The reason Ba Meng had found Qiu Yuanyi and Lady Green was that the 9 nether plane breaking talisman and thunderstreaks were not enough to enter the netherworld realm. Several Dao transformation realm experts were also needed. Ning Cheng was only a Dao molding divine emperor. If Ning Cheng was a Dao actualization divine emperor, then Ba Meng would just have to find another person. Ba Meng spoke up in a deep voice. This place can only be said to be the outermost periphery of the Grand Essence Yin netherworld. We have yet to enter the Grand Essence Yin netherworld. With our cultivation, even if the Grand Essence Yin netherworld's laws shatter, we wouldn't be able to enter. As soon as you enter, you'll be suppressed. In the worst case, you'll be teleported away. In the worst case, you'll be crushed into a soul. Come on, let's go summon the soul. We can't enter the real dark nether realm with our cultivation, but we can summon souls at the edge of the dark nether realm. As long as my son's soul is still there, he will be able to feel his own body. After Ba Meng finished speaking, he took a step forward. Let's do it. Ba Meng roared. His hands had already gathered endless spirit essence power and tore at the crack. Half a day later, Ba Meng stopped and said, I'm going to use the 9 nether plane breaking talisman now. Once I use the 9 nether plane breaking talisman, countless Een souls will rush over. These Een souls are very weak, but I'm afraid that there are too many of them. Once there are too many, the 9 nether plane breaking talisman would fail. Ba Meng shook his head. I'm afraid that very few people know where the entrance to the grand essence Een netherworld is, except for some primordial chaos experts. This place has the densest Een chi, so it should be the easiest place to activate the 9 nether plane breaking talisman. Moreover, no one will come here, so no one will disturb us. Ning Cheng followed behind Ba Meng. The two of them walked for a few days before they stopped in front of a stone arch bridge that was faintly discernible. Boom. The aura of the laws finally erupted, tearing a pitch-black crack in the void. A long passage finally appeared under the joint efforts of the few people. Ba Meng was the first to rush in, and Ning Cheng also rushed in. At the same time he asked, Dao friend Ba, how do we come out after we finish? As soon as Ning Cheng arrived, he felt the dense Een chi. This barren land was filled with white bones, and in the depths of the barren land, there were some low-level Een souls howling. Then how do we find the souls? Ning Cheng asked in doubt. At the same time, Chiu Yuani and Green Lady also made their moves. After Ba Meng explained to Ning Cheng, he raised his hand and waved out an ice jade stone bed. A young and robust man lay on the stone bed. Just like Ba Meng, he also had red hair. Red hair, let's do it. Chiu Yuani, on seeing Ning Cheng not even know about this, felt some contempt in his heart. Even ordinary cultivators knew about this truth. Ning Cheng was also a late-stage Dao sculpting holy emperor. Ba Meng shook his head and said, This is not the bridge of coping, but the bridge that connects souls to the Een netherworld. It's called the Soul Crossing Bridge. The first bridge of coping you mentioned is the first bridge of the 7 bridges spirit technique. It has nothing to do with this. After a person dies, as long as the soul can come to the Een netherworld, it will involuntarily approach this bridge. Only the soul that passes through this bridge will have a chance to enter the reincarnation passage. The souls we saw before were all souls that had no chance of reincarnation. Boom boom boom. Under the lightning arcs, the Een souls that swarmed towards the 9 nether boundary splitting talisman quickly turned into flying ashes. More Een souls felt the aura of the thunder source and fled in horror. Okay. Ba Meng raised his hand and waved out piles of spirit crystals to arrange a spiritual gathering array around them. No one raised any objections. Ba Meng then took out a palm-sized black talisman. As soon as he took out the talisman, Ning Cheng immediately sensed a powerful law force coming from it. Ning Cheng secretly marveled in his heart. He had no idea what kind of person could refine such a talisman. Green Lady, who followed behind, smiled and sent a sound transmission to Ning Cheng. Pill Sage Ning is so good at alchemy, but you know so little about talismans. When you have time, come to my immortal cave. I will teach you slowly. Ning Cheng secretly thought that in the face of such Een souls, if he didn't use lightning arcs and used the 7 bridges spirit technique, it would definitely be more effective. Chiu Yuani and Green Lady also helped from the side. Ning Cheng could see that these people's attainments in the Tao of array formations were quite average. They weren't even the worst low-level spirit array masters. Ning Cheng knew about the 6 Een soul fruit. He had refined a batch of 6 Een soul pills for Silver Dragon Clan's Gong Huayu and used the 6 Een soul pills. Moreover, he still had 2 6 Een soul pills on him. Because Ba Meng intended to give him the dragon cleansing pond, he was also prepared to give a 6 Een soul pill to Ba Meng if Ba Luo couldn't find his soul. This woman really knew about him. Ning Cheng didn't answer Green Lady's words. Ba Meng cupped his fists and sent the 2 away. Then he said to Ning Cheng, they came here to look for the 6 Een fruit. This Tao fruit is very important for reaching the Tao essence realm. But with their cultivation, if they want to find the 6 Een fruit here. This is my son Ba Luo. His corporeal body is here. As long as his soul still exists, it will take the initiative to come here. At that time, I will need your help. As long as his soul comes here, remember to use lightning arcs to wash away the nether chi covering his soul. Ba Meng looked at Ning Qing sincerely. He had never seen a powerful talisman crafting expert. The only talisman crafting expert he had heard of was Fu Lai, who Tsang Wei spoke of. Qiu Yuanyi and Green Lady most likely wanted to go to the Dark Nether Realm to find something. As for what they were looking for, the two didn't say it. Ning Qing also didn't know. Ning Qing knew that it was time for him to make his move. He didn't hesitate to bring out lightning arcs. Ning Qing didn't specialize in lightning arcs, so his lightning arcs weren't strong. But even if they weren't strong, Ning Qing was still a Dao molding divine emperor. Therefore, these lightning arcs still contained some of the laws of heaven and earth. This is the Dark Nether Realm? Ning Qing spoke and swept out with his spiritual sense. Even if the laws of the Dark Nether Realm were broken, it wasn't easy to enter the Dark Nether Realm. Breaking the Dark Nether Realm required not only the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman but also the power of the laws of heaven and earth. Ning Qing was a Dao molding divine emperor, so his lightning arcs naturally contained the power of laws. The 9 nether boundary breaking talisman activated in Ba Meng's hand and turned into a pitch-black power of laws of heaven and earth that blasted into the void. This power of laws didn't spread out. Instead, it became more and more condensed after blasting out. The further it went, the more terrifying the aura of laws became. He didn't plan to help. It was just an ordinary spirit gathering array. This spirit gathering array was just to help the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman activate better. He didn't need to do anything. Okay, I was waiting for you to say that. Green Lady chuckled. After we get out, I will definitely give you a satisfactory reward. Is this the entrance to the Grand Essence Dark Nether Realm? Ning Qing asked in doubt. Ba Meng said helplessly, the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman comes in pairs, one in and one out. Otherwise, who would dare to buy this? Bang! The sound of Ba Meng's feet landing on the ground rang out. Ning Qing and the others also landed on the ground. First bridge of coping? Ning Qing cried out. This stone arch bridge had a pale color. If it wasn't the bridge of coping, then what was it? Although he hadn't set foot on the soul bridge yet, Ning Qing could already feel the powerful push from the laws. While resisting the push from the laws, he could also feel the netherworld laws. After hearing Ba Meng's words, Ning Qing quickly spoke up, of course, there's no problem. Dao friend Ba Meng, you can rest assured. Ba Meng led the way, while Green Lady continued to tease Ning Qing along the way. However, Ning Qing didn't show any other expression other than Green Lady, on seeing that Ning Qing didn't seem to have much interest in her, tactfully closed her mouth. Seeing Ning Qing not speaking, Green Lady deliberately sped up and arrived at Ning Qing's side. Once again, she sent out a sound transmission. Although that Lu Fanglin has a charm body, I cultivate a charm technique. If we talk about that alone, I'm not any worse than her. If you don't believe me, you can try it. Dao friend Ning, when you see these souls rushing towards the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman, immediately bring out the lightning arcs to help. Qiu Yuanyi and Green Lady will work together with me. With the help of the 9 nether boundary breaking talisman, let's tear it open. Innumerable soul shadows rushed out from the pitch-black crack, rushing towards the 9 netherworld shattering talisman without exception. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.